Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 48 of Tales of Aneria. Woo! I can't believe that we are at 48, and we're getting really close to some really good stuff. I'm very excited. After a couple weeks of our time in Salsport and a couple days for the Wayward Watch, I'm sure everybody's eager to get on the road again and see what this adventure has to offer. So, let's, I guess, do we have any announcements?
Syrinscape?
Thank you, Syrinscape, for providing the audio visuals, as I like to call them, for tonight.
Visuals for your ears.
Visuals for your ears, yep. Making sure that all of the wonderful sounds like this one. That was a horse.
It was very far away.
This one.
It's a very far away horse.
Scott, if you're editing this, put the sound of a fart right there.
No.
That's the horse. Corey doesn't know what sounds are.
No, I don't know what sounds are at all. But yeah, thank you, Syrinscape. They're great. Go check them out. Link in the description. There's also, I don't know if you know this, but there's a little bit of lore in the link in the description as well. If anybody's curious, I have a World Anvil site, not sponsored, but I have one for Tales of Aneria, and just kind of gives you an idea of a little bit of what I created. It hasn't been updated since session 5, but still.
There was a lot in there.
Hashtag Aneria. Yep. But I think we are ready to begin with a recap. Does anybody remember what happened last time?
Yes. Ezra, completely hungover.
Mm-hmm.
Bolt learned about the shard. Some of the shard faced Golem on the Pounceman Prairie.
Yep.
Kilobix says lunch today at midday. This is like very transactional.
that was the meeting that you had with Ignis Saul.
Then we had the Ignis Saul. You guys had breakfast in bed.
I'm glad you wrote that down.
Very important.
That might have been my favorite part of the episode.
Yeah, it's in here. It's totally in here. We when we did get there was a very large building, large jovial man with alabaster skin and dark black hair. He seemed like he was putting on fronts at airs, trying to make himself look richer than he actually was. He was very interested in the things that we had to say. Talking to him about stuff. He was understanding about cutting his nephew's finger off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There was no...
Much to everybody's chagrin that Victor didn't get punishment for that.
Yeah, you forgot to talk about how...
come to Jesus.
Yeah.
We shouldn't go that.
we had her
come to the trio. No, it was a come to the trio moment.
Come to the claw.
Yeah.
And we had that meeting beforehand to make sure that Victor didn't screw something up and make more trouble for people. We had, let's see, so we had you talked with wasn't there a conversation? I don't have it written down here. Between you and Callie?
Probably.
You woke her up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so everybody had breakfast. She grabbed some breakfast, headed off. Anyway, we went to Ignis Saul. This is later. And he was also at the Brew Bash, so that was important. So there was a lot of back and forth. Sarah gave a riveting 6-hour
retelling
of everything that's happened.
Mm-hmm. That's what Sarah thinks. It was actually 6.
Yes, in 6 days.
It's 3 when you cut out all of the little gaps and
Right.
and uhs. And, yeah.
It was a 3-hour montage.
In 6 days, his daughter wanted to have a party it was like a far traveler thing.
Mm-hmm.
See,
She was turning
Her far mitzvah.
She was turning 13.
Far mitzvah.
Damn it.
That's hilarious.
So
Magnus
bad.
Full.
I like it.
It's a mage's book that we need to take to him.
Yep.
So it's something that he asked as a friend, not as paid people. And then Magic and Way, we met a jacked wizard.
Yes, you met
His name's Brawl.
Brawl.
Yes. And I arm wrestled him.
The beefy wizard.
He smelled a little like beef.
And then I've got something written here in the corner that I can't read.
That seems typical of Victor.
Dragon.
Yeah, because
We went to
the Mungos.
Oh, we went to Mungo.
Mungo's.
the
And
hot frog
That's
guy.
right.
Yes, the hot frog guy.
For They're
Is he?
used.
You roll. You roll.
Even Seredan didn't think he was attractive.
Oh,
I got
That's what it
I
was.
got no saving throw against that.
that's what it was. When we went to
No
Mungo,
saving throw against
we
that.
talked to him. He had some cool items. Sari wasn't interested, but you got the glaive that is sometimes a glaive. And then he just talked about.
I didn't get that.
Yeah,
I did.
You bought it. I did.
Yeah, you bought it. And then there was a kobold. The kobold that he was talking about. He was like, "Hey, this kobold he keeps promising all this stuff."
Of a dragon
Victor
soul.
paid off that guy's debts, thinking it was our friend Mr. Keskes. And when we went to talk to him, Keskes is like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So we believe it might be
And
one of
none
his
of us
classmates.
asked what he looked like
Yeah.
because Keskus is very.
Distinct as far
We're
as
just like,
kobolds go.
he's the only kobold we know. Like,
Yeah,
of course he's the only kobold.
Upon
Like,
hearing that someone had been spreading rumors,
Yes.
he took off, asking Bolt to
help fix the
finish
repairs.
He took off to go.
We got a bunch of potions. Where did
Yes, we got
come
potions. We got lightning
Okay.
That
potions.
came from Brawl.
That came from
Okay.
Brawl.
Yep.
Okay.
You all got a
Because he
Red
arm
for
wrestled him.
Eve, blue for Victor, white for Sarah,
Yes.
black for Bolt.
Yep.
Bolt had an arm wrestling. This is very chaotic evil of my
That's-
note taking.
That's Victor's note taking. Yeah, so you each got a potion of resistance from a particular style of energy, and then Bolt also, for winning the contest, got a potion of spell recovery off of it, which allows him to recover some spell slots. So, and then you all went back, had a nice dinner. You drank that Chateau Morlaine that was delivered by Ignis, just because he delivered a very expensive bottle at your request because you're friends now.
Right.
You know. Thank you, Preston, for that. And we'll go ahead and begin the next morning. Everybody is up, finishing up a kind of a light breakfast this morning. Kilbix knows that you're on your way, and he is kind of. You can see that everything is kind of going into stasis mode again. There's a lot less hands kind of floating around. Kilobix doesn't have like the finest food out, even though you've given him plenty of money to kind of go off of, and he's just kind of making sure that there's nothing else that needs to be done. One thing to note is that Helm is going to be staying here with Callie.
Oh, he started gardening.
Yes.
Okay,
And
I
that's
remember
it.
that.
Helm has started gardening, and Callie is going to stay in the tower. She said just until she can get her gear back together, and she wants to keep an eye on the local Arcanum chapter and see what she might be able to glean there as well.
Galena.
Galena.
With a G.
And after that, Kilobix, you guys kind of gather up at the door. Ezra is there. He's still kind of stoic. You see that he's wearing his armor, and he has a scroll case kind of attached to his belt that you didn't notice or that you haven't seen before. But when you ask him about it, he kind of just gives you a non-committal grunt. He seems to be still in a little bit of a sour mood from whatever happened to him a couple days ago.
Little grunge.
Should we mention we didn't say anything about Ezra not being here?
Ezra's
Oh.
no longer with us.
Yes, sorry. Dallin is once again not here. He is still no longer with us.
We're working on
But not permanently.
getting the Revivify. Well, Revivify wouldn't work because it'll last.
yeah,
for
it's going to cost a lot.
Resurrection.
More now. Mhm.
He
And if you want to help fund that resurrection,
Yeah.
like, comment, and
put some
subscribe.
skull and crossbones.
Yeah, skull
in
and
the chat.
crossbones.
There's a donate
Okay, I'm
button.
writing it down.
There's a donate button in there.
Crossbones.
Equals.
1 gold for Ezra.
Yeah.
Yes. Because he pulled one of the deck of many things. His soul was sucked out into a crystal. We gotta go find it.
Yeah, exactly. He should be back hopefully next time, but if not, whatever. We will
We'll keep
carry
raising,
on.
we'll keep raising funds.
Yeah, so, yeah, thank you. I don't know why I didn't even think about. I'm already forgetting that
It's
he's here.
because we already talked about him not being here before we started.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
That's
All right. And then Kilbert kind of gives you all a deep bow. And he says, "Is there anything else that you require before you leave?"
Oh, Kilobix, you've been wonderful. And I'm so grateful that we have you to watch over our wayward watchtower. Is that
The Watchtower.
the watchtower?
I think we're just gonna go.
We could call it our home.
It is.
Well, I am certainly happy to provide such service. It's sort of what I was created for, so it's okay. But I am more than happy to make sure that you are all well taken care of while you are here, and that the tower is well taken care of while you are gone.
Thank you. And you'll take care of the expansion of our...
Oh yes, as soon as you are gone.
Knocking down of the walls and all of that.
In fact, and he kind of he pauses a moment. Everything goes quiet, and you hear like some construction noises upstairs, some sledgehammers hitting walls, and he goes, It sounds like they're already beginning.
Perfect.
Kelebix, can you have John come here? I need to say something to him.
Of course. And then, like, a few seconds later, he doesn't even, like, wave his hand or anything, but John the Broom sweeps into the room.
John the Broomtist.
Sweeps in.
Yeah, yeah, very much like the elegant, like, sweep in. Yeah.
John, I'd like to apologize. I'm going to grab him and hold him out the door. Does he go stiff, or does he disappear?
Yeah, he does go rigid, as it
Throw
were.
him back in. All right, that's all.
Yeah, he shakes it off and then
Thank
just
you,
kind of
John.
sweeps away.
Oh, John.
Of course.
Had to try.
Have to try.
Next, you're gonna be like prying up a tile, and like, set him on
Set
it.
him on the tile and then take him over there.
Well, is there anything else?
I don't think so.
so.
I think we just
Forward
need to...
any messages to my ring.
Yes, of course. I do not have one myself, unless you wish me to purchase one with the money that you've provided. Or I can use Callie's. I know she is staying here.
Yeah.
That would work.
Use Callie's and could you gather one? Could you send out a servant to get one?
Yes.
So there are 300.
Yes, communication rings are 300 gold.
I will place 300 gold on the hill
Excellent.
and just use this.
I will make sure to do that. And
You won't be able to.
yes, I won't be able to until you return, but once you do return,
Yeah.
everything will be okay.
Callie will be here.
Unless you're willing to wait 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, we can wait 30 minutes. We've got some packing to do.
Of course.
I'd say.
Okay, so 30 minutes later.
Sarah's trying to drag.
I'm not going to make you
trying
wait.
to drag the tub downstairs.
Kelebix is kind of sitting there. He's got his hands. He's kind of like tapping his foot, like.
No, he just like
Yeah, it just melts away.
flows away.
Sputters out. By the way, when you did wake up this morning, or when you became aware this morning, I guess, more than your sentry mode, the glaive, I think it was actually a dagger last time.
Did you ever give us a name of what it was?
No, because it doesn't have a name. It's a custom item that I made. It is now a sickle. A
Okay.
steel sickle.
Yep. Named Pop. Popsicle.
Popsicle. Your kids watch those annoying things. Our hands are higher.
Perfect. And then 30 minutes later, Kelebix does have a ring in his hand as you come back down the stairs.
I'm gonna name it the weapon of many weapons.
The weapon of many weapons, okay. And he kind of like looks it over, and then he goes, would anyone with to... Ding. Ding. And it is a tiny little candle, is his symbol on it, so...
I don't trust the newfangled technology.
It's not technology, Vicky. It's magic.
Magic.
It's too. Yes.
I don't trust the newfangled magic. I prefer the old magic.
I
The
trust.
really old
I
magic.
trust the old butterfly.
I will try and prepare some messenger butterflies for you. Messenger butterflies, that's really hard to say. And with that, you head back out. Back into the main streets of Salsport, where the sun is shining, the air is clean.
No. Is Ezra with us?
Yes, Ezra
He's
is
just
with
being
you.
very silent.
Yep, he's just being very quiet. Yep, we will not talk about Ezra tonight. His name is Bruno for the evening.
Talk about Ezra.
And soon enough, it's not that long of a journey before you're down the big slope and to the kind of rickety-looking airship dock that Keska's parked at. And as you approach, you see that he is directing a few orcs that are loading cargo up onto the top of the ship. And it is kind of piled with these large boxes that all have stamps that say Archdom on them at this point. So, and he goes, friends, everything is ready to go. Yes, yes.
How did last night go? Did you learn what you were trying to discover?
No, unfortunately, I learned a little, but not much what Keskas was trying to discover. I'm concerned, and Keskas might need to make a trip back to his home at some point. Well, his other home. And they pass the Grand's treasure, like on the railing a little bit.
Perhaps we might be able to join you on that adventure? If we can tie up the loose ends, we're going to try and tie up.
Perhaps it might benefit Keskas to have strong adventurers if Keskas is planning to make a journey there. We shall see. Yes, yes. As long as friends can recognize that other home is sacred place. Yes, it is not for. It is not for thieving.
Pillaging.
Yes. Although if somebody is pillaging, Cascas says strong words for them.
Like what?
Avada Kedavra. Or whatever the equivalent of Word of Death is.
Yeah. He says something in Draconic. And he's
The trumpet one's the best.
Which roughly translates to death to the terrible servant.
Oh.
Yes. It's sort of... Anyway. Is Callie joining, or is she staying?
Callie's actually going to be staying back at the tower.
Yes, of course. Well then, we're all ready to go.
We're ready.
Excellent.
One step back.
And he kind of waves the last of the orcs away that are kind of standing around, and they don't move. And he goes, oh, and he grabs a small pouch out of his pocket and it takes a few silver and like tips each of them in silver, and they kind of look down and then just kind of shrug and walk away. And
That's like a couple days' wages.
Yep. And then he turns to you. Yes. Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry.
He only said his name one time.
I was just hoping you could remind me how long you think it will be before we get to Archdom.
Very good question. I remember.
6
Don't worry.
days.
Oh.
Am I misremembering that?
I
remember,
think
so.
it is a little bit more than 6 days.
Okay.
Time to travel to Archdom. No, it is 6 days. Well
right.
done. Well done. With the remembering. Yes, it is about 6 days to travel from Salsport to Archdom using the greatest treasure. And he says, and now comes the unfortunate question of payment.
Of course.
How much?
300?
That was, yes, 300 each.
We appreciate the friendly discount.
Oh, well, Cascas appreciates his friends.
And the gold, right?
Yes. But, and as he like takes the gold from each of you, including Ezra, who just silently
Here, pick
pours it out of his piggy. Yeah. But Cascas made Short Trip is a bit more enjoyable this time. And he walks over to one of the crates that isn't marked for Archdom, and he pulls back the lid, and there is actually a myriad of food, not just sardines in there, including a bunch of bananas and mangoes, and it looks like he got a bunch of kind of this more tropical fruit that Salsport is known for. Mangosteens.
Thank you, Cascas.
Oh, Cascas is very happy to help. There is also spices, if Bolt wishes to sniff.
It's just over there.
Bolt does wish to sniff.
So you put him in a line.
Yes. That's how you keep the gears going.
You have a spice problem.
Yep.
I see how it is.
Spice is life.
Spice is life. All right. Well then. Just a moment, and he runs over and he'll pull in the line, and he'll call out to the dockmaster. Again, he'll pull out the pouch and begrudgingly pay the docking fees of it over the past few days, hand it over to him, and then he kind of just gently pushes away with his foot, and the entire ship just kind of lifts a little bit. It's a little odd to have it being able to be pushed by a kobold foot, but soon enough you are racing across the sky, over the Aurelius River, right back towards the beacon. But Cascas assures you that you're not going to fly through the beacon airspace at this point.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
So is the theme
Indeed.
song as we're flying that beef? It's what's for dinner song.
I would not know why that would be the song that is flying. I would say maybe
it's fine.
Cascas is playing the penny whistle maybe a little bit. If anybody goes
Ezra's
to
down below singing some mournful song.
Nobody knows the
trouble
I've seen.
And it's that montage with the little thing on the map. And the boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 6 days pass. If anybody has anything specific they'd like to do, work on any sort of projects or anything, I highly doubt it, but nothing really happens all along the journey. It's more of just kind of a pleasant, around probably actually 2 days in, you do pass by the beacon, and you do see that all of the fires have been put out. The beacon's towers appear cracked, but they don't appear destroyed. So they're still stable, and there is activity coming from around it, but it's not nearly as much as you've all expected from the tower at this point. Those of you who have been here in better times, and those, I mean, everybody's seen the beacon as you pass by your various areas.
Victor would just sharpen his knife, do his katas, and brood alongside Ezra.
I'm pretty sure he has some brooding company.
Co-brooding, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything. Obviously, like he meditates a lot, and anytime you like sit down and meditate, he'll crack open that one eye and then he'll just close it. And it doesn't look like he's unhappy about it, though. He looks like he's enjoying at least a little bit of company.
He scoots a little closer to you.
Ezra will write
Your
down.
fingers lightly touch in the same spaghetti bowl.
In the same spaghetti. Yes, in the spaghetti.
I was just hoping you were eating spaghetti and it was
At the same time.
Yep. That would be
noodle.
one half.
And then it becomes like tugging war.
Slap him.
Bolt, do you have anything that you're...
No, actually, I'm just gonna relax now that I'm a paying customer. Unless there's an absolute emergency, I'm just gonna be, I'll find if there's like a hammock or something, I'll just kind of relax in that.
Oh, yeah, he definitely does
my
have a hammock,
seatbelt will
so.
be just a magic hammock, and I'm just kind of like sitting there in the air, just doing this back and forth.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
I'm not sure if that's how it works, but I'll allow it this time. And Keskus does show you the repairs that he made to the ship. It's not a complete fix, and he said there's plenty of instability still, but it's a lot better than it has been. So, and he does thank you for your contributions to fixing that.
I'm perfectly happy to help a friend.
And what about Eve?
Eve will ask Seredan to spar with her.
Yeah, I would gladly do so. Never mind. Sorry, I was listening, like, right before, I just remembered, like, right before I got out of my car, I was listening to this song called The Flying Machine.
Oh.
And so maybe this is the song that's
There you go.
as we...
We won't be able to show that off.
No, that's
because,
okay.
yeah, it's going to get demonetized.
Let's just mute it for 3.5, 4 minutes.
Everybody just sit and talk.
It's a pretty song.
What happened?
I do want to hear it.
Yeah. I would spar.
Alright.
I would say that Sere probably noticeably gets a little more and more like tense as we get closer and closer to Archdom. Just as she's sort of, thinking about the upcoming, hopefully, confrontation with Venti. She gets a little less sort of herself, a little less, relaxed, easygoing, whatever, and just a little more, I wouldn't say like snappy, but just like maybe withdrawn or quiet or sort of broody. Maybe Ezra's rubbing off on her.
The three of you are down in the cargo hold, just...
Sorry.
This is exhausting. With all these broody people.
So does that affect
I'm just
her,
eating mango
her
after
sparring,
mango.
or does she become more intense?
I mean, she definitely wouldn't, like, I don't know, get more, like, aggressive. Definitely not with Eve, but maybe distracted. So yeah, if anything, maybe she's not as, like, good as she might otherwise be, I would say.
Seredan, we both know you are the superior fighter.
Oh, I don't know about that, Evie, but I'm sorry, I just... the closer we get to Archdom, the more distracted I'm becoming, in case you haven't noticed. I'm just thinking a lot about Venti and... Well, I guess I'm getting a little nervous. When we faced him before, we were able to defeat him, but that was merely a sliver of what he is and what he's become. I worry that we might not be strong enough to defeat him.
Well, I don't think your fears are don't think you have anything to worry about. But it's okay. You're afraid.
I suppose I'm less afraid for myself and more afraid of the fact that I'm bringing my friends and family and the ones I love into danger again. I worry that I won't be strong enough to protect you all.
Sari, this is our fight as much as it is yours. You have to know that.
Yes, of course.
You don't have to worry about anyone dying except for me. That's fine.
Victor usually dies the first. But then we can name the battle after him again.
It's an honor.
Well, and I'll admit that having these rings does give me some modicum of comfort. In case things do go.
In case
south.
Victor dies.
Well, sure. As long as he's the only one who dies. But thank you, Evie. That does make me feel better. And I know that it's not just my fight. It's all of ours. And frankly,
Banana time.
we're fighting.
I thought that meant hug time.
We're fighting for the entire world. And I know that, well, with you at my side, and the rest of the watch, I like our chances.
As do I.
What is life if you're not dancing on the razor's edge?
Peaceful and serene.
That is too boring.
You know what? You're right. I don't think I could. I don't think I could live that way for very long myself. Good point, Vicky.
Well,
Banana?
Sure.
Banana.
Again, I thought that meant hug time.
I will point out that these are the bananas that everybody knows, the genetically engineered ones, magically engineered in this world, but they are definitely not the bananas that are typical bananas, which are disgusting. Have you ever seen a regular banana before?
Like in the wild?
No,
so a non-modified
a
one.
non-modified banana. Yeah, they
Ones
are
ravaged.
They are
I've
really
seen 'em.
bad.
Yeah, with the seeds and everything.
Yeah. Anyway,
Regardless of you thinking it's your fight and you're dragging us in, we all have something at stake here. The barriers cause nothing but hardship for all of us, whether directly or indirectly. So we would all benefit from its destruction. So I don't know if I can speak for everyone, but I feel like I know you well enough that we're all going to be in it together to the end.
Yes, that's true. Thank you. I suppose I do have a little bit of concern as well over what's going to happen with the choir when we defeat him. I don't know if... Well, I don't know. I don't know what happens with my... With their patronage of me. I don't know what happens with that splinter that sort of is... I don't know if they're inside me somewhere. But...
That's not creepy.
It makes me
there's 9 heart.
a little worried.
Either you're very nervous or
It's just
something.
constant.
Part hummingbird.
But I'm sure it will all work out in the end.
There are very, very strong magics in this world that even if something were to happen to you or the choir, we could figure it out. It might take some time, but I'm very long-lived, and I don't feel like I would take a rest until we could get you back.
Thank you, Bolt. Your confidence is more reassuring than you know. Right then.
Okay. So the journey continues on. I would say, Victor, after a couple days of meditating, I think you do find out the name of that kunai that you got from Lyra. And that name is?
Moonfang.
Okay. So So congratulations on the tuning to moon
Whatever
thing.
is a moon?
Well, you see, and then Bolt's going to go into this, like, almost lecture, you know. I'm like, where's a chalkboard when you need one?
Keska's had to use it for the underside of the ship.
Oh, that's what that greenish patch was.
Yes.
I thought it was just mold.
Yes. Is also.
No. That kind of hurts me right here.
But yeah, I think by the time you guys do arrive at Archdom, Bolt has given you an explanation of what a moon is and technically like what it. I mean, Bolt really wouldn't know too much about the science of like why a moon is there. Just like generally what it is.
A moon is generally a body made of rock or some other hard substance, fairly large, and I'll probably like try to describe it like the size of all the Malagoth mountains, like scooped up and smashed into a ball. And it
hurled into the sky.
Yeah, and it usually slowly circles a planet or a plane.
Well, you ask, what is a moon? What is a Sere? What is a name? It's a name.
Ah, so Sere is Eve's moon. I see.
Oh, I like that.
Victor just completely invalidates your entire lecture by being like, it's just a name.
All words are made up, right? That's true. That's a made up word.
That's true.
All right, so you guys have been up the Gaius River before, or at least you have seen it before. You do pass by Ruby's Oasis.
I'll say, yeah, Ruby's Oasis is
glimpse of?
up a little bit of it.
You can see the shifting sands kind of off in the distance, ever blowing, ever stormy, as it were.
Ever shifting.
Ever shifting, yep. Leading into the large chunk of an area that is the Ungolan marshlands that you know very well, or at least you've explored.
Well, as we pass, I'll point out the two towns, Terraceburg and Falcon Crest. But I'll also tell you the story of everyone in Falcon Crest calls everyone in Terraceburg. They call it Tariffsburg due to high taxes, and everyone in Terraceburg calls Falcon Crest Felon Crest because I think everyone there is thieves. They have a rivalry they've had for the last 40 or 50 years.
That's why all the rooftops are blue on one side and red on the other.
That is definitely how it is. Yes, every roof in Terraceburg
Do they
and
ever,
Crest are
people from other sides, do they ever get married or fall in love?
Well, yes, I mean
It's like star-crossed lovers.
it's a rivalry, but it's not law or anything.
If they do, one of them has to fake their own.
I mean, that sounds like it would be a really great play or something.
They just have to convert. They just have to convert to the red and blue side.
They're like, I like them, but I really don't want to wear red the rest of my life.
Deny thy color.
And then the river kind of narrows a little bit until it gets to its narrowest point, and you see in the distance is the city of Archdom. It's a little bit like Balin's birth, if anybody remembers from Six Hills. Basically, there is this big lattice work of all of these different cranes and pulley systems and everything that kind of hangs over the city like a spider's web. There's a bunch of the little tiny whirly clamps, or the big industrial kind that kind of just spin around and pick up crates and that sort of thing. And there are plenty of tall towers that belong to mages and artificers and other tinkerers and such.
A drop of oil rolls down Bolt's cheek, and it's beautiful.
It's probably only about. Oh yes,
I love this town. Yep. A tinkerer's dream. It's
probably only about 3 miles wide, but it does span the entire length of the Gaius from one bank to the other. So, yes, yeah, no, it goes all the way up. There's no more river. They've expanded. Yep. And it's about 60 miles across at this point in the river. Nope, that is...
That's the other...
Quick to the battle camp, no. The Tarrasque is loose.
One night, one day
I
hear this tink, tink. And I come running upstairs, and he had crawled up on here and was eating M&Ms out of a bowl of his lap. And I was like, no! He got like half the bowl.
Snack time.
Little rogue.
Yeah.
And also notably, there's an underhang to the city itself. Underneath the bridge, there are these large, again, it's another lattice work of pulley systems, but there are buildings with rope bridges connecting beneath it. It's sort of an undertown beneath the actual city itself. And you can see it's a little
Did
bit...
the arches go up pretty high?
I would say they probably go at its zenith, which, it's not like a big arch bridge. It's more like at ground level, maybe about 2 miles up and then across and then back down again. So it is a marvel of engineering as far as anything goes. It was created by a group of dwarves that came from Malagoth Mountains and gnomes that just kind of came from all over. And then from there, they just started growing and growing more artificers. So it's just kind of expanded from there, and it's become its own little kingdom in its own right.
You know what they say about tall buildings? Short people. Yes, it makes sense. Perfect.
Who says that?
I'm pretty sure I heard
Is
Sorry
that,
say
is
at
that
some
like
point.
is it like an 8 rings thing?
I thought everybody
There
said
was a
that. I don't know.
middle part of that saying.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. All the buildings,
Tall buildings, short people.
all the buildings you see, you go you find a giant, correct? They have a big cave, it's not, but to them it's proportional. You find a dwarf, they build giant things.
So you think they're overcompensating for something? Is that what you're saying?
I won't say it, but I'm not saying.
The bigger the tower, the tinier the gnome. and soon enough, Kes kind of like, you see him kind of pause. There's a bunch of airships flying over, and he looks like he's debating between the top level and its skyports or the lower level. And he says, Does companions have a preference on where they wish to be?
We don't.
That's confusing.
Remind me, like, out of character here,
Sure.
because I am not a very good note taker. We know that we're
Nonsense.
The-
Look at all the notes on this.
we know that we're meant to meet, one of the two companions of Enthi, but we don't really know like where they might be.
All you know from the choir is that a servant of Aventhi will be here in at this point, about 6 days' time.
Okay.
Was it one of the 3 in the Ungolan marshlands?
There was
That's what
no
we had the mercenaries.
indication of who it might
That's
be.
just what we
killed one
assume
of
is that
them.
if we recognize
You killed-
them, it
you
might
killed
be one of those
Hazaketh.
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. Crocodile guy.
Now, didn't some of Clan Fallowshield come up here, though, to kind of scout things out? I've sworn that they
There was supposed to be a Foul Shield contingent that came out here from Gerard. He did say that. Yeah.
Okay. That's right. Because I had told him about the information that we'd learned.
Have we heard anything? Would we have heard anything from?
You have not.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Sarah, is there any way you can commune again with the choir and see if they've got any more information for you? Because we're still about an hour away.
I could try. It doesn't exactly work like prayer with them. But well, it wouldn't hurt, I suppose.
I mean, if you're part of this or made of the splinter cell, maybe you can find some resonance with the others or something. You sing a song.
Well, let me see if I can make contact. And she'll just go maybe below deck.
Okay.
Move over, Ezra. We here.
Try and find a quiet corner and just, try and do a little navel gazing and see if she can, make contact with anyone from the choir.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a religion check. Because it would still be religion even if it's not religious.
It's a 1. A dirty 1.
A dirty one.
Because I rolled a 2.
Well,
but
I'm afraid to say that a 1 does not beat the DC that I had in mind here, unfortunately.
It's
DC of
really
5.
rubbing off. I'm sorry.
It was a DC of 2. Sorry.
Yeah. So you sit there for a while, kind of trying to focus your mind, meditate a little bit, and eventually you do feel the presence of something beside you, but it's faint. You know that the choir themselves, because they are technically associated with the Venthi, putting their direction on you is like putting on the One Ring, basically with the Eye of Sauron on you. So you can't quite get any more information out of them without alerting the person that you're after as well.
I'm trying to remember. I don't believe Gerard had a communication. Or
He
any
did
kind
not.
of way to communicate.
At least there was none that you clinked together or anything like that.
All right, I'll just go back up and be like, sorry, everybody. They seem to be rather silent. We might have to do this the old-fashioned way. And just ask around. See if we can find out if anyone has heard of or seen anyone from the Fellowshield clan. And if that doesn't work, then give descriptions perhaps to like a local constabulatory force about... Was that a big word for me?
That was very big. Constabulatory.
I've been working on my vocabulary, right? Peregrinations and all those things. Anyway, right.
Why did we all pitch in for that word of a day,
Because it's fun.
To see if they've seen Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I can check the underbelly. I'm sure I have people contacts that might be in the
I
city.
wonder if they might show up in your little book of bounties.
Not bad. I could check. I'll just start, I guess, perusing.
Is there a specific person you're perusing for?
I want to peruse
book
for
of
it was Dwarf? Gnome. No.
He was in a...
Gnome. So I'm going to think of the gnome and then the other person that was with Hezekiah.
The lady in armor,
Yeah.
black armor. We didn't see her face.
No, she had
She
it.
left
But
it all.
She had
but we
it all.
had we get a
name,
name
didn't we?
because I thought
Yep.
I know we
Yep,
had them.
you had their names.
me. Wheel in the
Give
sky.
me a few seconds to see if anybody can find it.
up. You remember what episode it was?
Best of luck.
Long time.
It
Was it
was,
before or
uh,
after?
It was the
January?
Winter Court, actually, that you guys were... That was
Was it before or after we tried to fight a bunch of giants and almost died?
That was after.
After that. Okay.
I swear.
Half Unicorn, Damascus Promenade, Rakshasa Tobin, Meeting with the King,
It was the one
Yeah,
where...
keep going.
Border Town,
Yeah,
it
You're
was
in the
fought
Murky
first.
Marsh
Urgo
lands.
Black.
Yeah.
Sky Whales,
Okay.
Further back.
Woman in
Further
leathers and black horn helmet named Bruna the Black Scar.
there it is.
Bruno Black.
And then the gnome was named Galgnan?
Ganalan.
Ganon. Wow. Got a little
Write that down.
gear cracker.
From the Gear Cracker clan that we messed up in the whatever the
You hadn't made that connection until now, but...
Yeah, I was
yeah.
like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Little,
Gear crackers in the... Yeah.
the ones that killed Seredan.
Ooh, now I really want to... Wait, didn't we?
we killed all the
kill
people
him?
there. But this is some
You killed
saved
that
the
one
Skyway.
shell.
That's right.
But-
But not... Gadalan was one...
And if
they
you
were
remember,
looking for.
as you were leaving, you found a distress beacon on the captain that had
Yeah, the
been
little-
activated. A little distress cipher, yeah.
Okay.
And I will say, as far as the Book of Bounties go, you do not find anything on Bruna the Black Scar.
Okay.
But you do find a bounty for Ganalan, Gear Cracker.
Okay.
Mainly smuggling and all sorts of other like piracy activities. And it is specifically a bounty coming from both the Arcanum and Archdom.
Okay.
We'll say 200 gold.
Right. It doesn't give any additional information about whereabouts,
Last whereabouts.
or have an illustration
Is there
of
anything?
their face. Well, I guess we could read.
We kind of remember, yeah.
Yeah, there is a description of the face. He looks very much the same as he did back in that episode, which I totally remember.
Victor, do you have any connections with any bounty hunters here in Archdom?
I mean, I've known a few that have come up this way. I haven't myself, but I could check around in some of the local guilds.
That might be a great place to start. And then perhaps we could try and find some of the Fallow Shield clan and see what they have been up to.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Do you two want to go check in with the local constabulatory? And Victor, I could accompany you as a bodyguard. Or
This is what I'm imagining.
That would be good.
The dorky little policeman from Pirates of Penzance. Okay, I had to finish that, sorry.
You're fine. Okay. Let's see. All right, so Kes is going to pull in probably at one of the lower skyports so that you have equal access to both the Undercroft. That's a good name for it, the Undercroft. And that's a name I've heard somewhere else before, though. I'm sure it's some other thing already, but whatever, I'm using it too. And then the Overcity as well. So, and he kind of pulls in, docks everything, puts the gangplank down, and immediately there's kind of this fancy human dockmaster that marches up the steps, and Kes pulls him aside and tells him what the manifest is, and kind of gives him all the paperwork and everything. And he looks over at you, and Kes goes, "Oh, you not be here for this, or you not need be here for this. You can go. Have fun."
Thank you, Kes. How long will you be here, do you think?
Kes has scavenging to do, so probably week, 2.
Okay.
Maybe, depends.
If you haven't heard from us and you are getting anxious about leaving on your on the next leg of your journey,
Of course.
send us a message.
Yes.
But hopefully we won't be too long.
Yes. Shouldn't be. Good luck.
Thank you.
If you seize any kobolds, you let Kes know, yes? Yes?
Right, and this time we'll try and get a description.
Yes, please.
If I can't get a description, I'll bring them to you.
Okay.
or at least part of them.
Funk them over the head. And
Do you recognize this finger?
So yeah, Sarah would be looking for like some sort of like city watch person, like.
To the local constabulary.
Okay.
Right.
So that is the plan for you two. Is everybody going with you, or are you splitting up?
Do
you have-
divide? You two. I'm the leader, so I will tell you what to do. Ezra, forgot Ezra. Ezra, Victor, Bolt. Please go to some of the guild halls.
If Ezra
So
comes
it's all-
with us, he might scare people with his scowling.
Okay, Ezra, you come with us.
Thank you.
And
Sorry, Ezra.
We don't want Ezra. You take Ezra.
see if you can find
Maybe
any.
it would be better if I got us an inn.
Oh, good idea. Ezra, you're on in duty.
Of course.
Keep in
And
mind
he points
that-
at like a clock tower and he goes, "Meet there at 5." And he'll just kind of wander off.
Okay, look for a room with a tub for Sari.
Big bed.
He's gonna find one in the Undercity that's by something that's like pouring water constantly and
The
Yeah.
tub, they just like drop you into the water with the pulley.
Something tells me he's going to find the seediest inn
yeah.
in town.
Absolutely.
Especially since we asked him specifically to find us a nice room.
I mean, he's kind of in the mood. We need to help him.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of an NPC mood.
He's on his period. So
It's common with people that are orc horn or orky horns. I don't know what you call them.
What is he? What do you want to
Yes,
know?
that's it. Unicorn?
Unicorn. I'm trying to make a play on orc.
An
and
orca
unicorn.
horn.
An orca horn.
Orchid corn?
Orca horn.
That's common for people that are banished from their their Tushin whatever.
Right. Good luck finding people to do charitable kind acts.
I
for.
don't think that you guys know about that yet.
dang
by
it.
the way.
No.
That's why he's broody.
That is why he's broody. He has not told anybody about that.
I think the only person that he made a vague allusion to being
banished.
banished and
'Cause
understanding
he was
Victor,
drunk.
but that was it. And so that's why Victor's just constantly.
Yep.
We're waiting for him to
I see.
be
Take
ready.
a nap. A warm rice bag helps with cramps.
Just keeps walking away.
Go to the local apothecary. Get the thing called Motrin.
My doll, I would recommend. Helps with bloating as well. Goodbye.
Well, my doll is
This
actually
episode
a
sponsored by.
Yeah.
It's actually a place that creates creepy little dolls.
Yes. It's also the name of a wizard who creates creepy dolls.
And medicine.
The masterful my doll.
Yep.
All right, you two go. We're going to the local constabulatory to see what
I do
we
an
can
exaggerated
find.
like, yes, ma'am.
Meet back at that clock tower at 5.
And if you can't make it or something happens, send us a message. We'll do likewise.
Or we'll just assume you're dead.
Do you have a way to contact them? Oh yes. Okay. I forgot.
He holds.
Don't trust that.
Your bolt ring.
Yeah. When we actually do try and go, you'll send your message, and I'll go find some little kid in the town and be like, "Okay, I need you to go and take this message to them." So like, maybe like 5 minutes late, some little kid's like, "Hey,
Find the half-elf, half-dwarf
person
that
is
cannot stop talking.
Sure thing, mister. I heard all
the biggest
about her.
goose in that window. Boy.
Okay, Mr. Scrooge. All right.
Let's start with even Seredan then. So, again, your plan is to start asking around about a city watch.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, I mean, I just assumed that we'd start with some sort of city watch.
Okay.
Maybe they'd be able to.
yeah, so you talk a little bit, and you
Preferably
do
not
find...
the Arcanum.
You do find a merchant, but that's the easiest way to get information, right? Just a nice stall of just very simple jewelry, just like mostly copper and silver pieces, that sort of thing. A gnome, and again, as you kind of like walk through the streets, this busy kind of crowded, no real sense to the streets kind of streets. It seems like everybody knows where they're going, but it looks like it's impossible to navigate to people who've never been here before. There is a short little gnome, and again, most of the citizens are gnomes here. I'm getting off topic, but gnomes, dwarves, there are plenty of other races, but they're the most prominent. And there's a gnome man at the stall. He goes, "Oh, so you're looking for just like some guards, some watchmen?"
Well, actually, we're looking for some dwarves. I appreciate that there are several in town, but I don't suppose you've heard of a clan Fallowshield that's here from Malagoth Mountains?
Yeah, a bunch of dirty mercenaries, isn't it?
I'd appreciate it if you. Well,
You're
yes,
speaking
actually,
to the
yes.
No offense, man. No offense.
It's fine. I know that sometimes we can be a bit ragged. The clan has been largely homeless for quite some time now, so
Yeah,
makes sense.
I hear they wander around a lot, take whatever job comes for gold, that sort of thing. Kind of leaves a sour reputation in most people's mouths. They're not the most pleasant of people. Again, no offense meaning here.
I
of course.
understand. We're working on improving our standing.
They hired me for PR.
I hadn't heard of any. I mean, there might be some down in the Undercroft. That's typically where the mercenary types tend to go.
Right, good catch.
Thank you. We keep trying, no matter what. As far as any sort of like other guards, you got the Arcanum presence here. Although between you and me, they've been a bit scattered lately as well. There's sort of two different posts, kind of towards each side of the bridge, and it's almost like they've been claiming territory, like they were common thieves
Interesting.
rather than normal. I mean, they're not harassing people as of yet, but they are imposing the law in their area a little bit harsher and claiming extra territory, that sort of thing.
Interesting. Let me ask you this. If you were looking for information or someone, who would you go to?
That's a very good question. I mean, I got several that somebody might go to, but I might be losing a little bit of business, just sitting here chit-chatting all day.
Oh, I'd be happy to purchase something.
Interested in my fine jewelry, I see.
I absolutely am.
Well, what tickles your fancy?
Sorry.
Feathers?
Feathers.
I'm
Tickles
afraid no
fancy.
feathers here, although there is a Fletcher just down the way. They would have a few.
No handcuffs either. That's a shame.
Oh, actually, and he does pull out a pair of manacles that are
Jewel.
copper.
I will
Sold.
take those.
Probably 5 silver pieces for these.
Thank you. Happy to do business with you.
No, happy to do business with you as well. I won't ask what the manacles are for. I never do.
That's fine. So you were saying...
Yes, as far as information goes, there is a, I guess you can call them a guild. There's a conglomeration of information brokers, as it were. They're sort of, the listener types that tend to congregate. And he points at one of the towers that looks like it has almost like a spiral to it. Like the stonework makes it look like it is kind of like a shifting spiral. And he goes, if you go to the spiraling tower, you'll be able to meet with them. They kind of have a lot of information around here, and they might know a little bit more about what you're looking for. That's
And
for sure.
is there a trick to having them speak with us, or...
Lining their pockets usually helps. I'd be careful what you say around them, though. They tend to take any gossip.
I understand. Thank you very much. This has been most helpful, and I can't wait to use these.
No worries at all. No worries at all. I am more than happy to help, as always. And if you do want a nice fancy bracelet, and he kind of picks one up. This one's got a nice little leaf that we stamped into it, and this one's got a nice little hammer that's been stamped into it.
This is more my style. Thank you, though.
Of course, yeah, that does look like your style, I suppose. Have a wonderful day, and again, no offense meant, ma'am.
None taken. Thank you for your help.
Yes, of course. Have a good one.
These are for you.
I love presents.
So, we'll move down to the Undercroft here. As a reminder, you do have one more thing that you need to do in Salsport over the next 6 days. You have a book that you need to deliver. Archdom. Yes, I forgot where we were.
That's right.
Yep.
I remember how.
Yep, you might want to look at that.
I don't remember how far back to go, though.
Preston, we'll let you kind of take the lead on this because this is more your city.
I'll just be the like quiet, stern one behind you, just doing this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'd kind of go around looking for watching for signs of thieves' camp in different places for like who's offense, who might be useful for information. So a place that like a nexus where these underbelly mercenary types like to hang out.
Okay.
See what I
and
find
you're
out.
searching a little bit for your bounty hunter.
Yeah, I'm kind
contacts and
of
everything.
talking around, seeing if there's any 8 rings in the area, if there's any, just seeing if there's anybody from that have been from different towns, bounty hunters that I might have encountered.
Okay.
I know a guy.
Yeah, you definitely can say that you know a guy here, and we can play that out.
Okay.
But first, I wanted to let you know that while you are searching for thieves' camp, you find plenty of it down here.
Uh-huh.
Plenty of vents here, cops here, that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
But you do find one that's interesting. You find a white painted symbol of a butterfly, which is an indication of an 8 rings presence. Specifically, the white butterfly is associated with the opal ring. And inside of that butterfly is a dagger that is turned downward, and which is an indicator that they are in need of assistance.
Okay.
And as you follow that kind of trail, you do find a few more of these same butterflies that are leading you in a direction, basically.
Bolt. Aside from the unsettling image of butterflies, there might be trouble ahead, potentially. So be on your guard.
Seems we always run into trouble, but thank you for the warning.
And I will continue to go through, and again, at this point, being a little more guarded than just, watching for any quick movements or things out of the ordinary.
Okay. Eventually, you are led to a tavern that is called the Murky Marsh. I had to write that down for myself. And that same butterfly symbol is kind of etched into the door frame. There's a whole bunch of symbols etched into the door frame. Other thieves can't. And you can actually tell as you're approaching there is a kind of a teenage boy outside, just a regular human boy, and he is currently like whitewashing the side of it. Basically, this is the kind of place that probably gets a lot of these symbols, and they have to clear them off regularly.
Okay. You boy.
Yeah.
Question: have you seen any?
Pardon me, boy.
have you seen any 8 rings around here?
Oh yeah, there's one in there now.
Perfect. Thank you for your time. I'll give him silver.
Right, of course. Thank you.
Step inside. Look around.
Yeah. So you step into
I'm
the.
used to cheap towns.
Yep. You step into the Murky Marsh. It's kind of your standard fare. They serve some meadstead. They serve a little bit of their special home brews, including one that's kind of a lighter fare that they kind of toed up a little bit. It's supposed to be a little bit more. I don't know how hoppy as far as flavoring goes. Yeah.
Flavor.
Okay. Yeah. And you do see in one corner, you see somebody that is carrying the symbol of the 8 rings on their finger. And specifically, it's an Axtoli.
Okay.
A gentleman. He's got 4 arms, kind of that pale skin like all Axtoli have. The pink fronds on his head are kind of tilted forward a little bit. Just kind of like he's listening in, and he's just lightly nursing a mug of this kind of hoppy ale.
Is it somebody I recognize?
Yes, it
Is
is.
it a person named Bibble?
Yes, it is. It is
Okay.
exactly Bibble.
Bibble.
Bibble Thresher.
So, follow my lead. And so we'll kind of come up and sit down, or kind of approach the table. Hello, friend. Is there room at this table? And I'll put my hand on the table kind of in front of him where he can see.
Showing off your ring that doesn't necessarily associate you with a ring, but is a jade, if I remember correct. And he looks at the ring, and then he looks up, and he frowns as his eyes flick up to the blindfold that is kind of wrapped around his headband. And he goes, I remember you. You're that arrogant one from the Chrysaling.
Yes.
I don't remember giving you. I don't remember giving you the symbol of the opal ring. How did you obtain that? And you can see like a little bit of there's a little bit of a glow on these tattoos, these blue tattoos that suddenly appear, and they almost start like dripping with water and flowing a little bit with magic.
Forgive me, Bibble. You are correct. I am Victor Udanta. I was cast out for my hubris. Throughout my travels and penance trying to fix the wrongs that I had done, we had actually encountered one of the paragons.
What? And all of that, like the tattoo stopped glowing and just kind of he dries out a little bit. What do you mean? You one of the paragons? You encountered a who? Who did you encounter?
Yes.
Oh, you're looking a little dry there. That's his assistant. I'm having a brain moisturize me.
My brain is saying Jaina Proudmore.
Dratia. Yeah.
It was Dratia. We actually saved her, my companions and I, from dire straits. She was locked in battle for a very long time.
You found Dratia?
She is returned, and I believe she was on her way to Cinderheart.
You mean Skull Seat.
Cinderheart.
Cinderheart is one of your daggers. Yep, that's all right.
Skull Seat.
That's incredible. And she provided you with that.
Yes.
And she basically removed your exile.
She has differing opinions from how we do things. I do not want to rock the boat, but she said it was okay.
I see. Well,
please don't kill me.
you're Kushina's kid, right?
Yes, Kushina and Tog.
I'm not familiar with her husband, unfortunately. But sit down, and who is your companion as well?
This is Bolt.
Nice to meet you, Bolt.
He is no mere construct. He is very much a person. Treat him as such. He is as much my brother as anyone else in the 8 Rings.
Of course. Well, welcome. So you say that she was on her way to Skullseat.
Cousin. Yes. As I understand, they are on their way. There's some kind of summoning that is going on. I'm not sure what.
Yes, I did get the butterfly for that. I was about to leave. Actually, today was my last day, hoping for a little bit of assistance before I left, actually.
That's actually what brought us here for you. We found your symbol and that you're in distress, and we are here to hoping that we might be able to gain some information as well.
Of course, it's not so much distress. I was just I was following a lead about the origin of the 8 rings, and I was getting really close, but I needed some additional assistance getting into the place that I found, as it were. But that's very concerning. If the paragon of my wing is heading to Skullseed, I probably should head out quite immediately.
But we can help you if is there something that we can acquire or information to help you?
Is it research? I love research.
The Opal Wing is actually that is kind of their specializations, is historical data.
Why am I letting
That's
you
correct.
talk then? So
Yes, that is young Udanta here is correct. That is exactly what the Opal Ring is all about. We want to make sure that we know everything about our history and the history of the world around us. We consider it our highest honor and kind of lead off from there. If I am
what was his
needing
name again? Sorry.
Bibble.
Bibble.
His last name is
Thresher.
Thresher. Yep. If I am needing to leave today, which it does sound like it is, if I hadn't heard that Dratia was the reason for this meeting that everybody's been summoned to, you have not received a summons, is that correct?
I have not received the official summons. I don't know that I have been officially absolved from the 8 rings themselves, just from Dratia.
Well, I'm sure that they will want to talk about all of this that's happened.
Yes.
So I would recommend when you're done with whatever business is here, making your way to Skullseed.
I will do that.
Let's see.
But forgive me for speaking out of turn.
Of course.
Is there, since you are the wing that records and documents the history,
Mhm.
do you have a large library or?
Most of our caravans can contain scroll work and everything. It's more that each individual member carries a piece of the total knowledge that we've acquired, and when we meet, it's sort of a collection of that.
Well, perhaps if we do go to Skullseed, I'd very much like to hear your stories.
Of course, typically
I-
outsiders aren't welcome at Skullseed.
Well,
but
if it's possible, I have quite a few stories myself. I've been around for a very, very long time.
you look like the sort that would be, and I would be more than willing to trade story for story. I do, but it sounds like time might be of the essence here. So I'm going to have to ask you to take up this mantle, if you don't mind. Specifically because I feel like maybe you should earn the symbol that Dratia provided you, but I was not privy to, if that makes any sort of sense to you.
Victor in the back of his hood, like, it's getting like kind of like irritated with the like he feels like he's proving himself and then like the looking down or whatever, but he's gonna keep his cool.
We can do that for you, Bibble, and perhaps in the future, I too have a lot of information that might help relating to missing portions of our history.
Of course. So, all right. Well, here's what I need from you. There is a vault that is in one side of the Undercroft. It's actually built directly into the side. And it's not a guarded vault, but it is a vault that is blocked by magic that I cannot access. And I'm looking for someone that can get inside and find the knowledge within. There's said to be some sort of journal page that relates to somebody that was near and dear to the 8 rings in the past.
And if we do acquire this, a few questions. Who will we be crossing?
Nobody, as far as I know. A vault might be a weird word for it. A tomb might be more
A tomb,
appropriate.
okay.
Yes.
It's-
But it's just that I have not been able to figure out the secret of that tomb to unlock its.
I think
its
we could
hidden
help.
vault.
We kind of specialize in
We do have some experience in
acquisitions.
tombs.
Very well. Perfect. So, if you do that, bring whatever information you find to Skullseed, of course. I can head on my way, and
I like bump. Just give him out the other thing.
Yes. By the way, there. Please, if I may, be so bold, but there are two that we are searching for, Ganelan Gearcracker and Bruna Blackscar. Have you heard of these names or their whereabouts in the city? Or another name, Aventhi, is particularly of interest to my party.
Aventhi.
Aventhi.
And what was his real name? I had it written down.
That was the dwarf that led the rebellion against Malagoth about 80 years ago.
Yes, and he took up his new moniker. He has designs to overthrow Aneria, and we would like to have a discussion.
Do you have proof of this?
Do we have proof of this?
I think if anyone would, you would.
Because I wasn't there when you guys were in the. When you guys saw him in the locket, I wasn't there.
But we've talked to someone else regarding Aventhi, didn't we? Someone else gave us information, or
Talked
was
to
it
the
just
choir.
just the choir?
Yeah.
Just the choir.
Well, and Gerard.
Right, he is the one who gave us like the original
background.
story.
Gotcha.
And Sari got baptized.
So,
And I
No.
assume that.
yeah,
Yes.
you got baptized.
well, we have a few accounts. One of my close.
I got baptized. You had a ceremony.
Yeah, ceremony.
I can't keep us straight. Apparently, I'm sorry about that.
You are homogenizing already.
She is a patron to the Choir of the Crags, and that was one source, as the gods themselves have spoken to her. The other was through Gerard of the Gearcracker clan.
Well, I don't know how much stock I put into somebody who
Not the
says
Gearcracker
the words
clan.
of the gods.
I mean, I don't disagree. It's nothing like the creed or anything, but
No, it's not. I definitely. All I've heard about Aventhi is that he tried to rebel against Malagoth 80 years ago, and he was beaten back, but never captured or killed, as far as I'm aware. These other two, I've heard of the Gearcracker clan before. Sky pirates, mostly. There are a few around the city every now and then, but I hadn't heard of any on this journey here. But
do
you
you
might be
know-
able to scrounge one or two up.
Do you know if there's any particular places that they frequent, or anything at this
I
point
would
will
check
help
a
us?
few of the seedier inns.
Seedier inns?
Yeah, seedier taverns.
Seedier than this. As
We'll
I'm
probably
looking,
find- yeah.
looking around and.
Yes, very much so.
Oh.
You find
This
good
is one of the
information.
nicer establishments down here.
Yes, you find good
that's
information in the
fascinating.
speakeasies.
And then as far as that, you said her name was the Black Scar.
Yes, we don't have much
Bruna.
information. We've actually met her once, Bruna, and I'll give her the description of.
Well, I have heard of a story of her, actually.
Interesting.
Yes, it was a long time ago. There was an archaeological dig team that went into the Pouncewind Prairies, and, well, I should say archaeological dig team is a loose term. Treasure hunters might be more apt. They ended up destroying a clan known as the Red Scar clan. Just some barbarians, elvish wastelanders, that sort of thing. And because they were sitting on a particular site that was supposedly had an item of great power in it. And a few days later, as the story goes, they were attacked by a woman with one arm and equipped with nothing but a hand axe and an owl bear. And they were slaughtered pretty much to the man. Only one escaped to tell the tale. Again, as the story goes, these things can be embellished. Nobody knows what was in that tomb, and nobody knows what ever became of the woman who announced herself as Bruna. But her reputation as the Black Scar, the last of her clan, sort of spread around as not as a
Interesting.
boogeyman tale, but more as a one of those, ooh, very nice.
Yes. Well, if you do encounter these individuals, they are, for my party, considered very dangerous and are in league with, we believe, in league with Aventhi. And it is
Who, once again, has some very bad plans for Aneria as a whole.
I very much would like to hear that full story if you have a moment.
What do you think? We have a few drinks. Can we get some raw copper? Would you like anything?
I've never heard of rock hopper before, but sure, let's go with that.
Okay.
And yeah, the orcish bartender will bring over 3 shots of rock hopper vodka. As you tell the story, do you tell him, like, how much do we tell Bibble here as far as this goes?
I mean, from my perspective, any of the primes, it's like fealty, right?
So is
like,
he a
so for
prime?
me,
Yes.
he is one of the primes, and
So
so
I have been able to figure that out just in.
Victor's mannerisms, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't be meeting his eyes directly. It would be similar to like how I would interact, other than like prostrating myself on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Same way that you talk with
what's his face?
Faust and
Okay.
With
Udafi.
Bibble, he has a more jovial demeanor, but would be the only
With
reason
a
that
name
Victor's
like
more.
Bibble, you would think.
Yeah. So
You would hope.
I think we will tell him. Yeah, we'll tell him kind of like a brief history of Sere, I guess.
Of Sari?
Yeah. And like
Okay.
and the whole getting pulled into the Choir of the Crags and that thing. And then we'll talk about some of the stuff that happened, like in the Ungolan marshlands.
Yeah.
That kind of ties in because Bruno was there and Ganlan was there.
And I'd mentioned that like we know the gear crackers from this from
Well, yeah, I guess
encountered them,
we'll talk about that. We were out in the Broken
Expanse.
Expanse, but we're not. I think we wouldn't tell them about.
No, not about the world ending.
yeah.
Like we're taking.
Or
Well,
what's the?
if he asks Victor directly about it, Victor might. So this is just a warning. So you're doing
I think-
you'll
I
do a
think-
lot of the talking.
I think
and
Bolt
Victor will
would-
just kind of like.
If anything came up, I would just say that we ran into some pirates of the Gearcracker clan out in the Broken Expanse. Finished what we were there to do, and then came back. And it wouldn't have been like,
Light.
yeah, it would have been super light about it. So not talk about.
Bibble
Osmond
does
Dave.
ask follow-up questions about what's out there, by the way.
I'll just tell them like there's a bunch of floating rocks, kind of islands, some sky wells.
Aberrant creatures. Very nasty.
Yeah. And as you guys basically discuss this with him, we'll kind of pan away and pan back up to the Overcity here. As you guys arrive at the tower, the spiraling tower. And you kind of step up, and there's just this kind of winding path that, in fact, it looks like a spiral itself. There's this low hedge that goes around it, so you kind of have to circle around the tower like 3 or 4 times to walk in. There's no way to, unless you want to hop the hedges, which you can, obviously, if you want to try.
Hedge hoppers.
I'm not going to
Sounds
hop
like
the
okay.
hedges.
So it takes a little bit to get around.
You want to?
That's okay.
She who hops the hedges. I don't know. There's some
And there are some like
haiku
nice
there.
little statues in
Sounds
there, just
little
you're kind of
precarious.
standing like
god
your
of
fairies
flowers.
holding jars
I'll
of
get that,
pouring
there you go.
water, that sort of thing. And you're just about to the door, and you kind of come around the corner, and there's kind of an older woman sitting there knitting away, and she looks up and she goes, "Well, hello. How can I help you today?"
We were hoping to
She's the prime broker.
enter the tower.
Enter the tower. What is the reason for your business today? What brings 2 fine young ladies here?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is she part of the Illuminantes?
We are seeking information.
Oh, well, you have come to the right place. We do have plenty of information here. Perhaps you could tell me the question that you seek, and I will tell you if it's within our knowledge.
We're looking for someone. You need more?
To determine how much it might cost to provide this information, I would. Is it somebody that you are looking to spy on actively, or just looking for information on where they've been?
More of where we might be able to find them.
We would be able to facilitate that. Go on in.
Thank you.
And she goes right back to her knitting.
Don't mess with her. If I know anything about little old ladies in the
She's like,
in the front of places that have seedy back rooms. Like they're the worst.
If you don't bring the book back on time, she's the hitman.
She's the one that's gonna pull the big chain gun out behind the desk. And
I'm sorry.
But yeah, if you guys walk up to the tower door, it kind of pushes open for you and swings open. We'll go ahead, just put you in a nice little main entrance here, maybe.
Are you ready?
We'll do the creaking door.
Would this be the vestibule?
Yep. Yeah, this is the vestibule. And you kind of like walk in, it's a little dark, the door kind of like swings closed naturally behind you. It's not one of those like magic.
We're trapped!
Yeah, exactly. It's not like that at all. And the door kind of closes in. For a moment there, it's dark, except for obviously you guys have dark vision, so you can see a little bit of movement. And then the lights kind of pick up, and it's just normal torches, but there are 4 women standing there, and each of them is wearing a blindfold. They all have very long hair, varying shades.
it's my turn for the eye.
Yeah. and one of them does step forward, and she goes, "Welcome to the Diviner's Tower. I hear that you are looking for somebody."
How did you hear that? Out of curiosity.
We were told from the watcher outside.
She who watches.
Diviner's Tower.
She
The
of many
Diviner's Tower,
faces.
yep.
Is watching.
Well, yes. I suppose there's no use beating around the bush. We're looking for a couple of people, actually. And frankly, either one would do. We're not sure if either of them are here, but we're pretty sure that at least one of them is.
I see. Now, is this somebody who is here currently, or...
Well, that we don't know. We only know that they will be sometime in the next, 6 days from now.
I see. So you're looking for future sight, then?
Perhaps. Though, again, like I say, it's possible that they might be here already.
Well, if they are within the city now and you wish us merely to search for them, we would be able to facilitate that for... And she kind of like tilts her head a little bit, and the others tilt their heads different directions. 750 gold. If you're looking for us to find out where they're going to be, or use magic to divine their location, specifically if you have an item of theirs on hand or something personal, we could do that for about 1,500 gold.
I wonder what would happen if you tried to divine using Sere, because you're part of the crag.
They're not part of the choir. That's the problem.
What do you think, Sarah?
They're close to someone that is, though.
Well, let me ask this. If we give you the 750 and it turns out that they're not here yet, could we put that amount towards the 1,500 for the future divination?
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check if you wouldn't mind.
I was hoping you would ask that. That's 16.
She smiles and she says, "Very shrewd. I like it. I suppose if there is no clear answer from our information network, divination would definitely be amenable, and we'd be willing to discount the price. We do want to make sure that you are given the proper information, after all."
Very well. She'll give her 750 gold and say,
And you kind of hold it out, and she waves a hand, and one of the side doors opens up, and a construct comes out, actually. A little thin-framed animated armor, just kind of like smaller one with a tray, and it lets you set the money on it. And then it walks away. Very well. Tell us who you're looking for.
well, the first is a gnome by the name of Ganelin Gearcracker.
Okay. Can you describe him at all for me?
Yes.
Short.
Give me a description.
Looking.
Did we get a description before?
I honestly don't remember it. It's
Okay.
here for anybody who
Right.
wants to go see it. But I will let you go ahead and
Okay.
describe what you think, or what Ganelin looks like.
He is a gnome, of course, like I said, so short, balding on top, white sort of fringe hair around the sides, but it's kept very short. He has a white goatee as well, and a patch over his left eye. Beyond that, he's a pirate, you see. And so he dresses in silks and lace, at least he was when we saw him, with a rapier at his side. No parrot on his shoulder, but I wouldn't put it past him. No peg leg either.
Very well. We will confer. And they all kind of like step away and turn around and kind of like bring their heads in close together and start just like muttering to each other. And if you want, you can try to
Engaging
eavesdrop.
the gossip network.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try and eavesdrop.
Okay,
They're
give
called
me a
the
perception
gossip
check.
girls.
They're called the diviners.
The golden gossip girls.
11.
11. You hear it, but it is in Celestial. You speak Celestial?
Primordial.
Close.
If I was there.
Yeah, it is, and it's very interesting to hear people speaking Celestial. It's not a very common language. And after a few moments, they break away and nod, and the one that has been speaking with you turns around and she goes, Ganalan is not in Archdom currently. However, we have reason to believe that his people are meeting here in about 6 days, actually. They'll be meeting in the Undercroft with a group known as the Black Teeth.
Black teeth.
Yes, it's a...
Run by that angel lady.
With the bad teeth.
I knew she had dangers.
They are a rather... What is the proper word that I'm looking for here? And she kind of turns her head and one of the others speaks up and says, mangy. They are a rather mangy group of were-rats that operate around the Undercroft, a little gang of them.
Are they mercenaries or just miscreants?
Miscreants, thieves, brutes. I guess you could call them mercenaries in some very big stretch of the term.
Right. Any location in particular that you would know of?
Oh, we can provide you with a general map of their territory. And she waves her hand again, the animated armor comes rattling back out with the plate, and it's got a rolled up map that is kind of a map of Archdom's Undercroft.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they'll point out where their black
Yeah,
teeth.
basically, yeah, they'll unroll it, and it's already like, there's already a marker that has one of the sections kind of,
Like
it's
their-
maybe
it's
like
like their
3 or 4
territory, kind of?
blocks that is their territory, yeah.
Right. Perfect. Well, this is probably enough to go on, wouldn't you say, Evie?
One more thing. I can sense that there's information that you have. We'd be willing to pay for anything interesting that you might have to provide.
I'm afraid the information I think you're looking for is not for sale.
A shame.
Now I'm curious. What
Make a
information are
constitution
you looking for?
Does you feel your mind being...
I'm thinking our spell scroll, how we're gonna do all the things.
Right. Let's see. I know a great place to get goulash in Terrebonne.
Oh, we are aware of that place.
What else?
The gumbo, yeah.
Gumbo and
Gosh.
goulash. He's expanded.
Gumbo.
The gumbo and goulash emporium.
I mean, do you have any specific questions that you want to ask, or are you just generally looking for us to give you whatever juicy gossip we have and then pay us accordingly?
She's actually going to step up to Eve, and she's going to lean in really close. Again, she's blindfolded, but you feel like she's piercing right through your eyes. And she says, what happened to the beacon?
Wow. It's rather unfortunate turn of events.
How much are you willing to pay?
We'd be willing to refund your 750.
That's not nearly enough.
No, I think this information is much more valuable than that. But if you decide to increase your price, let us know.
And she kind of tilts her head a little bit again, and the others tilt their heads, and she says, 1,500 gold.
I'll tell you what.
Good timing, Syrinscape.
You are wonderful, Syrinscape. Check out the description book.
There is another we are looking for.
Of course.
And if you can tell us where he will be in 6 days, then perhaps we could share our information with you. His name is Aventhi.
Interesting. That would require divination if you're willing to wait a moment.
Of course.
Okay. And they will go back to the center of the room. You're kind of ushered off to the side by the one that's been speaking with you. And they're going to sit down and, in this kind of ritual circle, light some candles and put like a bowl in the middle. And they're all going to kind of lean over it. And they just start like chanting again in Celestial and rocking back and forth. There's some incense that starts flowing through the air from kind of holes in the ground. You assume there might be somebody under there that is starting it up. And after about 10 minutes, they all kind of stop and freeze and just stare into the bowl. And the water goes from clear and starts rippling, and then it goes murky, and then black, and then these dark tendrils start rising up out of it, and all of them just start like rushing away out of the circle, and the tendrils are actually going to start attacking them and wrap around them and start like picking them up into the air and slamming them into the ground.
Can we?
Yes,
attack them?
what would you like to do?
I'd pull out Scalebreaker and start slicing
We're
at the tentacles.
drinking.
Okay.
They're gonna fight. We're
Start
just
sneezing.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an attack roll then.
I feel like something's. The day feels off. Do you feel that wind?
it's the same shutter I got about the same time you guys got into a fight in Southport.
That's a 13.
13. So you cut through a few of the tentacles as they're coming out, and as you do, like, you see that they're made of just kind of like murky black water, and you slice through it, and it kind of falters a little bit and almost drops the one that you're holding, but then it kind of reforms. It looks like your weapons aren't being as effective as you would like. Eve, what would you like to do?
If you had the purify spell, you can just be like, bing, in the water.
Nice.
Do the Master Ugwe.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me think.
Noodle, don't
Let's
noodle.
see. This causes radiant damage. So perhaps that will be good. I'll cast Moonbeam.
Okay. All right. So you kind of raise your hand up. You can the symbol of the trio starts glowing.
Moon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I know what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, now
It's
especially now that
shining
you know,
from
you do see
Seredan.
that kind of like shining orb like appear overhead. It almost looks like there's an illusion of clouds parting and there's a bright circle shining down of white light, and that shaft hits the ground and just starts burning away at the tentacles. And you see them kind of like becoming sluggish a little bit. Give me an Arcana check, Seredan.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You notice something else in the light. It looks like there are, every now and then you see this kind of flick of iron chains that slash across one of the tentacles and just dissipate it completely. And soon enough, all of the tentacles are gone. The diviners are on the ground panting and just generally like they look like they're maybe have some broken bones, some bruises, that sort of thing, as the moonbeam fades away. And the one that's been talking to you stands up and she goes, "That did not go well."
No kidding.
Well, he is a bit of a bastard.
He was not only was he completely blocked from our sights, but he was able to redirect our spell and change what it was. There are some powerful entities behind him. More than one.
Right. Well, what do you think? Should we sell the information that we have, or not worth it? Perhaps not the information brokers, especially. Right. We'll think on your offer.
I would say that if you're not going to provide us with the information today, it'd probably be best if you just don't come back. Things we weren't expecting happened, and it's put us in a little bit of a sour mood to do business.
Understood. Well, regardless, we thank you again. Sorry about the
Victor, you're gonna have
bumps and
nightmares.
bruises.
They just broke a contract.
You can see they're already like casting some like mending spells on themselves and healing, that sort of thing. Not mending
One of the
specifically, they're not constructs.
One of the contracts in my bag just bursts into
And-
flame.
She says, if there is anything in the future, good luck to you.
Thank you. We'll be on our...
Sorry, we just burned a huge bridge.
Okay, so you head outside.
It is the city of bridges,
There's other
after
ways
all.
to get information.
Plenty of other bridges to burn, right?
Yeah, well, it's the city of bridges.
Yeah.
It's literally built on a bridge over the top of the river.
Yeah, we'll see ourselves out.
Okay, perfect. Yep. The old woman is just kind of, again, just knitting, and she goes, "Have a pleasant day," as you walk away.
She just kind of like looks up and just watches you as you go by.
She doesn't look up, but you do feel like she's watching you. Okay. So back at the Murky Marsh, you guys have just finished with telling the full story. Bibble is very impressed, and he says, "That is more than worth the delay in my journey. Thank you very much. If there's nothing else, though, I do probably need to be going. If there's a meeting at Scalded Seat, I should get there as quickly as possible."
One last question. I was wondering if you could tell me the direction to Half Hall Forge.
Oh, yes, that is on the upper level, actually. It's one of the larger tinkerer shops. You should be able to ask any merchant there, and they'll be able to direct you, although they might be a little bit bitter about it.
Okay, interesting. Thank you.
Of course. Victor, the Phenoptical Reserve thanks you for your agreeing to this service, and we do not... Philosophical. Phenoptical. Wow. And we do not soon forget those that help us.
I am glad to be of service, and I hope that you can forgive me of my past hubris. I'm hoping to learn and become a better person.
If a paragon can see it in their heart to forgive you, I suppose I can as well. Just stay out of trouble. You know what I mean.
No promises.
And with that, he will actually get up and walk away.
Well,
Should we share the information for the ring, or go meet them directly? I don't know if it's... I would like to attend to the vault sooner than later, but if we're simply looking for information, that might be a detour from...
let's
I think after leaving the tower, Sherry would send him a message.
Oh, okay.
And say, I think we found the information we need. How are you faring? Something along those lines.
Okay. Yeah, that can arrive at this time.
I think we should head on back and meet them at the clock tower and discuss what we've found out. And if we have time, we could stop at the vault or a tomb or whatever he called it to try to get into it and see if we can find what's inside.
And when we were talking to him, there wasn't like a time.
No, there was no time
thing.
frame.
Like it's
Yeah.
not collapsing or something. Okay.
No, it was just that this was his last day here before he felt he had to leave to get there on time for the meeting at Scald Seat. But he was just hoping that somebody would come by that might have more magical talent.
Yeah,
than he did.
and Victor would definitely look at that as like if other directives are done, that would become his prime directive.
Yeah.
To
All right.
accomplish.
Let's go see what Sarah and Eve have found out, and then we can figure out where to go from there.
That sounds good. Do you think that there are many magic shops we could stop in on the way? Or perhaps you can help me with this. I was thinking, I want to not actually rain, but I want to get a poncho or something for Ezra that's always raining on.
That's a little outside of my purview. I'm usually building more mechanically.
But you do like the fireworks and stuff, yes?
That's
Can you do the same thing with water?
kind of.
Turn on the waterworks. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Like little water balloons?
Yep.
Kind of. It usually wouldn't work on something as large as a poncho.
Okay. Well, if you see anything in the store window when we're going, I think it would be a nice addition to his brooding.
Something with a permanent rain cloud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys head back up. You meet at that same clock tower. Ezra is there just kind of standing around. You do see a few magic shops on the way. None of them have a permanent rain poncho at this time, unfortunately. But that is something that, like, when you ask every merchant about it, they go, that's actually kind of a fun idea. They all write it down.
Like a prank thing.
Yeah, just like, this sounds like something that we all know somebody that could
you give
use
it,
one.
you give it like a word, and for like the duration of like the little mini drizzle for like 10 minutes.
I just like
they
the
can't
idea,
take
like,
the poncho off.
You put it on, and as soon as you put the hood up, it like starts pouring. It's like, man, it's just surprising how that always happens.
Okay, and then you arrive. Yes, you all arrive at the clock tower pretty much at the same time.
Okay.
I got us
Fancy new view.
a room at the inn called the Copper Pot.
The copper pot. Lovely. And how are the accommodations?
Good enough for Seredan.
Ezra.
Thanks, Ezra. Very kind.
I don't want to play him too much. I was gonna be like, oh, he's helping a woman across the street, or no, it's fine. Yeah, he's just
Just do lots of grunting, Cory.
Channel your best, Geralt.
Yeah. Don't sell yourself short. Your services are appreciated.
Well, I don't know about you boyos, but we had quite an adventure. We discovered that there's a tower of information here, which really kind of helped us cut to the quick, as it were. Though
We're not invited back.
Right.
For the record.
What did you do?
Well-
I mean, I was not there to make sure and supervise you two.
we cut off a few pinkies, and they told us to get out and never return.
Well, that doesn't sound like anything terrible.
No, we went in,
Sorry, Scott.
paid them several hundred gold to discover that while they don't know that Ganelan is in town currently, necessarily, but the Gearcrackers are meeting in 6 days in the Undercroft with a gang of scallywag were-rats
We're at.
Excellent.
called Black Teeth.
The black.
And we even got a map that points out
Well, that's
where
a lot
they're
more
located.
information. I kind of feel bad. I don't think we just know that they were going to be down there somewhere, but you got
Right.
the map, so.
Right.
It will be helpful.
So, I have to assume that Ganelan will be there. We ought to perhaps find a way to...
And to add to that, I don't know if you said this, but it's not just Gamelan, it's his people, the Gear Crackers.
We have unfinished business.
Yes, because remember what they were doing to that baby whale.
It's true. We should do that to them. And the kobolds, was it the kobold? It was kobolds, right? That they were.
Yeah, they had kobolds. Like
And they also had
Yeah.
kobolds that they're transporting.
So you guys have met other kobolds.
Very unsavory. I tried to save them, put them in my bag of holding. They wouldn't let me.
Right.
Yes,
Right. Right, when you got me killed. Yes, I remember that.
I did no such thing.
No,
I was liberating the oppressed.
That happened to be
Did
that.
get him.
It's true.
The Dungeon Master said you got me killed.
That was Ezra.
Anyway, so I think that gives us 6 days to formulate some sort of plan on how we might
Did
lay
they?
in wait.
Did they say why they were meeting the
No,
the
we
Black
don't,
Teeth?
We don't know what the purpose of the meeting was. I'm sure it was very nefarious.
Maybe they were hiring them for muscle or something.
We also asked
Or
about a vent
sacrifices.
fee, and they looked into their magic bowl of water and were immediately attacked by some black tentacles. They said that not only could they not see him, but he was able to sort of reverse the spell on them and almost got them killed. Fortunately, Evie, quick thinking as always, managed to dissipate them with a magical spell, which I'd like to talk to you about later, perhaps, if we have a moment. But anyway, right. So they told us to never show our faces at the tower again. So
Well, that's pretty
Oh,
harsh.
yes, they wanted. We're going to do a trade of
wait.
information.
Are you exiled?
Just-
That makes 3 of us.
Just from the tower.
just from the Tower of Information, we could sneak back in if we wanted to. I'm sure.
You know about.
He's just a granny.
It's true.
It's just a
Guarding
little old
the
grandma
entrance.
knitting at the entrance. What harm could she possibly do?
Wait, what did she look like?
Well, she had a big Gatling gun.
The largest mall you've ever seen.
Right. So
Get some.
at least we
Just got a
we
giant
got the
frying
information
pan.
before we were permanently given the boot.
Sounds like you had an eventful evening or afternoon.
Indeed.
We just found a very polite member of the 8 Rings, Mr. Bibble,
Yes, we were.
which apparently he's the paragon of the Opal
He
Ring?
is a prime, yes.
Prime.
Not quite paragon, but yes,
Yeah.
prime.
Right. Well, I mean, we've still got some time before dinner. Should we see about delivering this book that
I would like to get that done.
Yes. And once we have completed, I don't know if you want to join me or not, but there's a vault with some secret information in it that we could break into.
I love secrets.
sounds interesting? Maybe after dinner.
Mhm.
And a bath.
That's true. It's easier to find secrets when it's dark.
Again, that's Ezra rolling his eyes, not the DM.
It makes it more dramatic when you break in the cover of night. So.
Right.
And it makes it more dramatic when you're clean while you're breaking.
Exactly.
Smell
Yep.
rose petals.
The bird
guard's
smell
sitting
of-
there.
of fine spices and fine
Yeah.
perfume.
Guards standing there. What does that smell like?
That's a smell of danger.
Danger, it doesn't smell like sweat.
Well, it is starting to get later in the evening. Let's go to the Half Hall Forge and see if we can deliver this book. See if the gentleman is even there for the rest of the day.
Sounds good.
Okay.
This Magnus Pool.
Magnus.
Full.
So this was the
Full.
book that we are delivering for Ignis.
Ignis.
Yep.
Okay.
It doesn't take you long until you find the Half Hall Forge. It's kind of a very large forge in the center of one of many marketing squares. There's a bunch of like steam and other kind of more toxic chemicals spilling out of it. You kind of your standard.
You smell that?
blacksmith.
That is the smell of progress.
What's this place called again?
Half Hall Forge.
Reminds me of the mines in Malagoth. Never my favorite place.
And there is plenty of blacksmith hammers that are going off as you enter in. And as you like enter in the doors, there's like a service desk, and then behind it is just rows upon rows of like different forges and workstations and such.
I'll walk up to the desk.
It's like
Is
a
there anyone
barber
there?
shop.
Yeah, there's a halfling woman there, and she looks up and she goes, "Oh, hello. We're just about closed for the day, but how can I help you?"
I actually have a delivery for someone that I was told works here. Their name is Magnus Full.
Oh, Magnus, you have a delivery for him?
Yes.
Does it need to be delivered to him personally?
I would like to.
Of course, just a moment. And she hops down, and you watch her kind of go all the way back to the only part that's partitioned off. It's kind of its own little like doorway room kind of thing. And she opens it up,
Very, very trusting here. Didn't even ask who I was.
and she calls in for Magnus. And a few moments later, a tall man with kind of a big black bushy beard comes out. He's wearing brown wizard's robes, but they almost look very like worn and soot covered. The standard blacksmith smock is there, and he's got some hammers and tongs and like strapped to the belt of it. He walks up and he goes, hello, are you here for a commission, or I heard you were delivering something?
Yes, my name is Bolt, and I'll reach out.
And he takes your hand, he kind of like turns it a little bit, and he goes, very nice to meet you, Bolt. Fine craftsmanship on you, if you don't mind me saying.
Thank you.
So what can I do for you?
Sign here for your delivery.
If he was hitting on me, he would have his hammer.
And he'll go ahead and sign it.
There's at the top, there's a logo that says VHL, or no, VPS, Victor Postal Service.
Things made of metal.
What'd you say?
I said, here's a dwarf. He likes things made of metal.
Human, actually.
Oh, Just kidding.
I may look a little short, but I assure you I'm human. I'm not a dwarf with stilts, that's for sure. And he kind of ruffles his
I'm not 3 gnomes in a trench coat. Thank you very much.
Are we human or are we dancers?
I mean, you look like you're a dancer.
My sign is vital.
You looking
My hands are cold.
looking for another knife by chance? We make some pretty good knives around here.
I could peruse your wares while you
No.
discuss.
Most of it's commission work, actually, that we do here.
Oh, interesting.
But we could make a fine knife for you for sure.
Yes, I will. Yes, do you have a price sheet that I can look at?
I mean, it depends on who you want to work for you.
We're getting off of
Oh, my
off track
apologies.
here.
Just a moment. Yeah, we can get to that.
I
in just a
have
moment.
something, a book from Ignis Sol
Oh,
to return to you, and I'll pull it out of my
Ignis
bag-
finally got
bag
that
holder
back to me, huh?
and hand it to him.
And he'll look at it and he'll like quickly open it and flip through the pages and goes, "It looks all here. That's it doesn't look like there's any scratches or anything on it. Fine work. Thank you very much for that."
Sure.
And he'll open up the little pouch in the blacksmith smock, that is supposed to carry things, and he'll just slide it right in there and it'll disappear.
Oh.
And he'll
A
go,
smock of holding. I like it.
Yeah, and it comes in handy. Now, as far as that dagger goes, if you're looking for a custom commission work, what is the standard price for a dagger? Can somebody find that out for me?
2 gold, right, Victor? Wink, wink.
So cheap, yes.
Well, I mean, it depends on if you
They're-
want any sort of magical enchantments on it, or if you just want a plain.
Yeah, the plus one
Dagger.
has got a dash in it for me right here. Let me
Regular one
look.
is
I know
2
the
gold
one.
pieces.
Regular one is 2 gold.
No.
Way to go! Right on the money.
me.
Yeah, you get to come down to our showcase.
Yep.
Now, here's the deal: if you're looking for just a regular dagger,
Do I look like I take regular daggers?
I figured not, but you never know with people. We do make more than regular daggers. We make really good daggers that run
Really
about
good
5
regular.
gold. Yeah, really good regular standard steel daggers. 5 gold. Commission days about 2 to 3 days on that one. We do make any of your standard enchantments. We'll make a mithril or an adamantine dagger for you if you want. They cost a little bit more each. Or if you're looking for a heavy enchantment on something, we can do that as well. Or if you're looking to enchant an existing blade.
I was perhaps I'd like to with how do you say that in meta? Is there any way I can enhance this blade? This is a very important blade to me. His name is Shadowsong. Is there a way that we might be able to give it some extra oomph?
Okay, you want to
Plus
get some
2,
magical
plus 3
sharpening
oomph?
on it. You want a +2?
Yeah, +2 or +3.
Yeah, that we can get that done in about 5 days. If you allow me to touch your blade, of course. I know that there's particulars that we would need to go through for transfer.
Might need to be present for it, but
Well, there will be work over 5 days if you're willing to be present for the full 5. And that'll run you about... let's see. You did bring me the book, which is very nice of you. And I'm sure Saul said it was a favor. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that sounds
free
like
of
Saul.
charge. We even paid
Was
all
it
that.
not? It's supposed to be.
No, I mean, that's just Saul for you.
We even each paid full fare to get here on the airship.
Let's say 2,500 gold.
I could do that.
Definitely off the listed price of a normal weapon of the magical quality that you're looking for.
Yes, but I would, yes, only approved people may touch it.
Of course, yeah. I would handle it personally.
Excellent. I would like to be present for most of it.
Or maybe you could have Ezra stay here.
Ezra, stand here for 5 days.
Great idea.
Ezra glares at you, but then says, I'd be happy to help.
You're just so broody right now. I'm
Ezra,
sorry.
if you,
That's your
I
character.
trust Ezra. Yes, I think that is permissible. Ezra, anyone else touches it, they are dead.
Is it
Of course.
is it only daggers that you can make enhancements to?
Oh, all kinds of weapons. You got something else in mind?
Yeah, she'll like summon Scalebreaker and be like, "What about this?"
Oh my. Do you mind?
Not at all.
I'll take a look at it. There's something in here. Something unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get to know what it is before I start tinkering with it?
Why don't you guess? See if you can figure it out.
Oh, this is a fun game. Want to guess what's inside of Sari?
Meat and bones, mostly, I'm going to assume.
Wrong!
Some other things.
And you run away.
Just glitter.
I was once in there too. I was burned.
Really? That's an interesting story.
It's true. It was a magical experience that really only a mother can truly appreciate.
That makes
You now have a
relationship
bond
very
that-
weird.
Y'all are weird, yeah.
Yes, it does.
You're not wrong.
And he kind of wraps his knuckles against it, and he listens to me. He goes, "That doesn't sound like an elemental enchantment on it, but it sounds really close." I'm afraid you're stumping me. I'm not really sure what this is.
Well, I trust you. Have you heard of Aldsteel?
Yes, I've heard of Old Steel.
Have you ever held it before?
I'm guessing I may be holding it right now.
You're guessing correctly.
Well, that's you know how hard it is to shape Old Steel?
Oh, yes, I know.
Yes, we know.
There's something else, though. I've felt Old Steel before, but there's some undercurrent that feels, well, it feels old, like really old. Are you sure there's nothing else in here that I...
There was a bit of, some personal effects that we added when we were creating it. It was the feather of...
Phoenix.
Embarrass.
Yes,
Embarrass.
an elemental. Am I
Okay, so
mistaken?
there is a little bit of elemental in there. That's what I was hearing, but it's not quite that. It feels like the thing that forged this originally was hotter than it needed to be.
Well, the forge was very hot. I'll leave it at that.
All right, fair enough. So you're looking to get to maybe the same type of enchantment as your friend here?
I would love that, actually. If you
Alright.
think if you think your workers, if you think your craftsmanship is up to the task.
Well, Ald still is a little bit more difficult to work with, that's for sure. But yeah, I think we might. And he looks around and he's like, I think I know a few people that might be wanting to get their hands at work a little Ald still. That's always a good
Are you
experience.
saying that this weapon might have taken upon some of the qualities from the forge itself?
Yeah, it feels like it. It feels like whatever forged this maybe left a piece of itself inside, which happens with certain magical forges. I mean, we have a solarium forge that tends to make kind of elementalish blades, and we have a few that are just kind of weird, strange things. I know that there's one particular anvil that when you strike metal against it, it kind of infuses it with wind magic, that sort of thing. But yeah, I've never felt one
I'm gonna run to
quite
the
as
anvil
old
and
as
punch
this. Force damage.
Well, I want wind
But
magic.
I would say Old Steel's a little bit harder to work with. Maybe we quoted about 2,500 for your friend here. Maybe about 3,500 for that, if you're looking for it.
Sure. That sounds fair.
Okay.
In the meantime, I don't suppose you might have a finely crafted weapon you might be able to lend me just in case the need arises while you're working on it?
We do, in fact, have a rent-a-weapon service here, now that you mention it.
Here's your loaner weapon.
If you just talk to Busia up at the front desk,
For an extra 150 gold, I can upgrade
She
you
can
first
get
class.
you. She can get you something similar, maybe not as potent as this thing is, but
No, that's fine. That would be lovely. I like to always have a spare, just in case.
if you're purchasing it outright, she can give you cost, or if you just want to rent it while we're working on this one.
Rental, I think, would be sufficient.
Perfect. Go ahead and feel free to talk to her. And in fact, here, let's go. And he leads you back up to the front. He says, Busia, we're going to take these two weapons in. And he actually does pull out a small velvet box and opens it up for...
Victor will kind of hold his dagger for a second and just have a moment with it. And then he'll set it in the dagger.
Which one is it?
Shadow Song, the one his
Okay.
dad made.
and he'll close the box, and he will actually fully lock it with a padlock. And he has two keys, and he hands one to you.
And then swallows the other.
Thank
And then he's going to hand the other one to Ezra. And he gives Ezra like a time to come in the morning to start work on it.
Perhaps, if I make it, can I add a second dagger to this order?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, if you got the money for it.
I would also like to. Her name is Moonfang, and I'd like to keep them.
I've had 8,000 gold.
Yeah, so he'll unlock it, and he'll say, do you want a separate box for it, or both in the same box is fine?
I would like them to be together.
Okay. And he'll open it on up for you, and you can stick Moonfang, the kunai blade, in there.
Okay.
And he'll close it up.
Not to metagame too much, but
Sure.
I mean, could they go even further and turn it into like a +3?
+3?
For
Plus
what would the
three.
price be?
+3 weapons about 50,000 gold. It's a huge jump up from there. Yeah, and it wouldn't be like steeping it. You wouldn't get the next level of that,
Right.
but it would be. They could increase it if you wanted to. Go
Can't
higher.
afford that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there is a huge jump from 2
Yeah.
to 3 that I think is pretty fair. But yeah, and then we see it kind of like writes you out each a contract that they sign, you sign, kind of thing. It's all very formalized, and she gives you like your ticket to hold on to. Yours will be done in 5 days as well. Just it's about the same time. But they seem really eager to get to it. And then she does say that if you want, they have a regular glaive that is just like 5 silver a day rental, or if you want to go for the +1 glaive, the +1 essentially, yeah.
Would you like to try this weapon? I reach in and grab the
sickle.
the weapon of many weapons.
Actually, it's been 6 days. Let me find out what weapon it is now.
I don't trust that. If I could get it to just hold its form, then maybe. But
Right now, it's a longbow.
I'll take the fancier one.
Okay, that's going to be 25 gold per day.
Okay.
For the rental on that.
So when Ezra kind of walking away, Victor is going to pull out some extra cloth as well, and he's going to wrap his hand to the point where it's just kind of like in a fist and kind of unusable.
Okay.
So, for just his left hand. So.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, and basically Ezra is going to come back the next morning to start work on that and everything. But yeah.
All right. Anything else? Shall we go check into our rooms and get settled, and then see about this vault business? Did I say that?
I don't have any other. I don't have any other errands to run. So
Perfect. All right, so you guys head to the Copper Pot. It's a very nice inn. Ezra did good
job,
work.
easy.
Listen to, he didn't try and just find the cheapest place, but he found something that was modest. And each of you have your own rooms, except for even Seredan, who I assume are sharing. And there is a nice tub in there. It's not the fanciest tub, but it's
a copper
serviceable.
pot.
Yeah, it's a copper pot. It is. Yep. But it's a large. It is a large copper pot, like a giant would. Use.
like a hot tub almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it does have the handle. And then, yeah, basically that night passes by into the evening, and you guys find yourselves down in the Undercroft looking up at what is essentially, it's kind of built into the side, and you can see that it just says Undercroft Mausoleum. Yeah.
It's got arrows like bing, bing.
Yeah. It is actually just like built into the side wall of the bridge itself of Archdom. Plenty of buttresses around holding everything together, of course, and it is just called the Undercroft Mausoleum.
My favorite mission.
And it's a series of crypts.
Bolt. Focus.
That one's over 150 years old. You can tell by the tool marks on it.
They haven't used that tool in
I've
years.
learned more about buttresses.
I
I
like
would
big
advertise now.
buttresses, and I can.
But there don't appear to be like any guards outside the mausoleum or anything. In fact, there are a few other people that are kind of like wandering in and out. They'll like go and they'll light a candle at one of the crypts. Basically, it's this big structure, like almost like a catacombs, where there's just a bunch of like interred bodies in caskets, that sort of thing.
How do you suppose we get in? I mean, there's obvious to this. Is there like a front door or
Yeah.
windows?
It's open. There's just an open archway.
Open? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go in. I'll just start walking in.
So
Do we
Bibble
know
gave
what we're
you,
looking for?
yeah, Bibble gave you a little bit of extra information because it would be foolish if he didn't. Basically, there is
It's like tear open all the tombs and find.
We're just gonna go in and start digging them all.
You'll know when you see it.
basically there is a room that has the statue of. It is the statue of a. We'll say it's the symbol of. what's a good god that we haven't?
Floral Naggin.
Not Floral Naggin. Actually, yes. You know what? It is Floral Naggin. Why not? It is a symbol for Floral Naggin carved in stone that is meant for like far travelers that came to the city and either bought a plot here or earned their way here, kind of thing. And he said to look for one that has the symbol for the 8 rings on it.
Okay. So I'll, I guess, search the. I'll explain to them what it would look like. And he would probably it would be similar to the same one that we saw earlier with the.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
bolt. It's the one I pointed out earlier, kind of thing.
Okay.
And then I guess fan out and see if we can find it.
Yeah. So everybody, roll me an investigation check.
Stay within earshot.
Because it's not hard to find the statue room. Basically, it's like
Right.
the far traveler equipped area.
What do we roll?
There is now
Investigation.
a level 0.
Investigation.
Yes, investigation.
Natural 1, -1.
Nat 20 plus 7.
There's a lot of other cool graves in here. You start like pointing out really funny names that people have. Yeah.
27.
27, Victor.
For Victor's.
That was a nat 20 if it matters.
Victor's forlorn for his lost daggers.
Yeah, he's definitely
Yeah, I
feeling
rolled.
that left fist is closed for sure.
missing.
No.
6.
You and Seredan are very much like giggling at.
This is so funny. Death makes me laugh.
It's a random name.
Yeah, we know when you knocked the head off that guy, you were like,
I have.
You were cackling madly.
I'm rubbing off on her, she's rubbing off on me. What can I say?
don't tell me what you
There's a
guys
lot
do at night.
Anyway,
Let me grab. So there is a name on next to the symbol,
I can't help myself sometimes.
and that name is Cassia Forlane.
That sounds familiar.
Is this the one with the
That might be me reading your world anvil, though.
No,
that we because Rutia mentioned her, didn't it? She's the one with the bow.
She is the one with the bow. Yes, she is the one that you guys have the letter from.
I'll call
actually.
everyone over, like, Eve, Sarai, Victor. I think I found it.
Is it echoey in here?
Yes.
Eve. Sarah.
Victor.
It's just like, Victor.
Where's my echo? Why does he have subtitles?
It's with shadows.
Did you make a deal with the Fae and not know it? They took your echo.
I guess so.
That's a great thing for the Fae to take.
In the shadow.
Yeah, so you all come over and you do see Cassia's name. You remember exactly. I mean, you probably still have the scroll written in
Yep.
Arin that she wrote.
So I guess when we're there,
Aren't you wrote?
This is her. This is. Is this her grave?
This appears to be her grave.
The girlfriend.
Yes.
Wasn't there some
from Hasmon?
bow that...
Oh, is this the one with the letters?
The one that was dating the
Look for the
djinn
bow.
that
Ezra
You
will
can-
love us when we come back.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I
the-
feel a little
the-
bad that
yeah.
we just left him. But she's fine. Or is he with us?
he's just like laying in the tub right now, just staring up at the ceiling.
There's like some super emo music playing. And he just keeps he just
No.
sinks down into the water.
Rain clouds, he's been very not himself.
Best thing about tonight's that we're not fighting. Could it be? Ezra's been this way before.
What's her name again?
Cassia
Cassia.
Forlane.
Cassia,
And her boyfriend was...
the
The gin.
What was
Jen.
his name?
Hold on. Okay. I rolled it down.
You just need to draw something unique for every
I
single
know,
session.
that's the-
and then you can just
Because I know
fill it
this
real
one's.
quick.
This one I know. Oh, there it is.
I think that's my favorite one.
talent dealing of the wind ladies.
Mhm.
Where did I write his name down? Jin Yotam.
Yotam.
Yotam in the where the Eternal Gale was. He was outside.
This was Yotam's girlfriend, right?
Yes.
We found that letter?
Yes, it's. I wonder because
How's
he, Bibble mentioned that there was some either journal page. Perhaps there's more here.
So is it like a casket type of thing, or is it like
it's like a stone,
sealed-
like it's like a sealed stone portion of the wall that.
And Bibble was saying that they you couldn't get in, right?
Correct. Yep.
Because so I'm gonna go ahead and just like put my hands on it and see, like, does it have any kind of like, shock you enchantment thing just by touching it?
No, it doesn't
Type of
shock you immediately.
Can I spend 10 minutes and do identify? See if I can figure out any kind of magic on it?
Sure, absolutely.
While he's doing that, I want to look around and see if there's any inscriptions or like scrawlings, any extra
So it
stuff.
says,
Not that great.
if it's magic item or another magic imbued object, I learn its properties, how to use them, whether it requires attunement, and how many charges it has, if any. I learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are, and if the item was created by a spell, you learn what spell created it.
Okay. So it's not a specific spell.
I'm kind of running my hands
as you're
along
spending
it.
the 10 minutes, you do find an inscription in
I'm leaning
Arn
against it. Tell me your secret.
that says that says the wind carries me where I cannot follow. And it doesn't look like it's a clue or anything. It just looks like it's like almost like her final epitaph, right?
Mm-hmm.
Evie, perhaps since we're in a crypt after all, you might be able to cast your senses about and see if there are any undead in the area.
I'd love nothing more.
Than to actually make use of
To find undead.
Yeah.
But you helped find the fiend or whatever at one time.
Celestial Fiend Undead. 1060.
And not behind like a
total
foot of
cover.
stone.
total
right?
cover.
Yeah,
Total
behind
cover.
total
You do not sense any celestial fiends undead.
Because they're still in their graves.
Perhaps.
They're there.
There's always knocking.
Knock,
No,
knock,
let
knock
me out.
on heaven's
I'm not dead
door.
yet.
I'm not dead.
Hey.
So after the 10 minutes, you actually finish the identify spell, and you realize that this crypt has been enchanted. Basically, that it's holding another item in it, almost as if there is actually a specific spell for this, where there's like a
Legend lore?
not legend lore. It holds an item inside of it until the enchantment is broken. I can't remember what it is, but let me see if I can
The
find it.
Inception enchantment.
Instant summons. Yes, basically, there is an item it's basically on the inside of the crypt that if you can hit the right trigger for it, it will summon the item that is inside.
Okay. Do I learn how to?
Lightning
open
damage. Putting any lightning damage into the crypt itself.
It appears that we need some kind of electrical discharge into it.
I'll cast lightning lure on the
Okay.
crypt.
Perfect. Yeah, so the lightning hits the crypt, and you can see it like it gets caught in the words in the epitaph itself, and kind of highlights all of it, and then it highlights the name, and then the lightning all kind of like swirls together and forms into a scroll that drops onto the ground.
I mean, that would make sense why Bibble couldn't get in there. He doesn't really do much with it.
Element.
Victor, if you
Oh, yes.
this is your thing, you want to?
I'll grab it and slowly kind of unfurl it. Is it written in Arn?
It is written in Arn. Yep.
I'll read it aloud
Okay.
to everybody.
I just sent it to you.
Perfect. Perfect.
And he writes up this whole thing. He can't even get me my last.
Have I still not gotten that to you? Oh my god.
I keep forgetting to.
Oh my god.
Sometimes the best plans turn out to be nothing more than fantasies. I attempted to use the ritual I acquired from that strange hag to breach through the barriers between worlds and make contact with the beings outside of Aneria. I had hoped that they could tell me what I had lost and bring it back to me. As instructed, I marched to a high peak, offered up the most treasured possession, the bow, as tribute for the ritual. Lightning blasted off into the sky, as it always does when magic passed through Ion Breaker. It raced through the heavens and into the clouds, but all that responded was the distant rumble of thunder. Or so I thought. It worked to some degree. A shimmering portal rippled through the air. Ionized lightning channeled through my weapon. Inside was a creature I had only heard in legend. Dazzling blue scales and sharp teeth. The dragon's wings stretched beyond what I could see, and his horn was nearly the size of my body. There's a dragon. I know! I'm so excited. He
Is
glanced.
Ezra just...
He like bursts out of the water like dragon.
He take that. Let's see. The dragon's wings were stretched beyond what I could see, and his horn was nearly the size of my body. He glanced curiously between myself and the bow at my feet, then spoke to me, asking who I was and why I had contacted him. I hastily explained my predicament, that I merely meant to call someone who could help me find the memories I had lost, that I knew that they were there. In exchange, I would give them whatever he required. He introduced himself as Skarnoff Razorwing, a draconic mage of some renown, but no god that could grant wishes. However, he was intrigued by my offer and my story, so he offered to help me, in exchange for a chance to examine the bow in my possession. I agreed, readily eager for any scrap of information. When he held up a claw to halt my eagerness, I sat and listened. He said that he... Sorry, I didn't hear it. The handwriting got more messy for me to read. As a link between our two realms and examine... as a link between our two realms and examine it. He could feel the powerful magics trying to push him away even now, but with enough time to study an artifact from my world, he might be able to reveal the memories locked away within me. He could then fully rip into our realm, and he would return the weapon to me and unlock my memories. When I agreed, still quite eager for any hope, he took the weapon and promised to return as quickly as he could. Then the portal closed, and I was left alone once again. I stayed for months, hoping each day to see the crackle of energy that would herald his return, but it never came. What instead came were wanderers, men and women of all races, though primarily Genasi, who followed the energy of my ion breaker and had released into the sky. It called them and brought them together. Though none of them could say why, I stayed with them for months, feeling a bit more at home with our little encampment than I ever had anywhere else in my travels. When I finally realized I had been tricked by a greedy dragon, it crushed me. It was a gradual realization, but one that I came to eventually. Not even my new friends, who I had begun forming deeper bonds, low battery, could soften the blow. So I retreated, as I always do. I scurried back to my place where my memories began, returning to my original goal of waiting for those I lost to find me. But they never will. It is a fantasy. I will die alone, as I was destined to, dreaming about something that might not even be real. This will be my last time thinking of what I had lost. It is time I moved on. Whoever you are, I will miss you always. Garcia.
Tragic. What memories do you suppose it was that she had lost?
Perhaps the loss of her love. I wonder if she had forgotten her precious love, the Jinn.
But why would she have forgotten him?
Because...
When they resealed the portal, people forgot about Hesmond Day.
Of course.
Yeah. I think there was a letter or something that kind of talked about that too.
Mm-hmm. That was the original letter that you guys had. Not that basically that explained that they no longer knew each other. It was just...
It was her. It was basically she was writing to him and saying like, "Oh, I'll come see." It was more like not transactional, like like somebody like you leave a note for a loved one, like, "Hey, I'll be back after dinner." Blah blah blah.
Well, that definitely makes me want to find and kill that Skarnoff. What a jerk! Except he's probably not in our world, I suppose.
What was the name? Did the guess? What did he say his name of his dragon was?
It wasn't Skarnoff.
No,
He did tell us who it
It was
like,
a red dragon.
Do you think
as well.
that he might know of this?
He didn't specifically tell you what type of dragon it was. His name was Zolzyrus, though.
Zolzyrus.
Maybe they were enemies? I don't know, but that is interesting. I'm sad we do not have the bow that we could give to Ezra.
Yes. Easy will be
But
said.
we know where it is. Steeping
Sort of.
Steeping in a dragon's heart right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, because Ezra was looking for Ironbreaker, right?
Yeah.
He wanted it.
So, what is it exactly that Bibble wanted?
It was more the information that about the creation of the 8 rings. He is of the Opalin. They are very historically motivated. They like to get information, not just history, but they have a large information network across kind of an area. They're information brokers, for better word.
Good, because we might have need of one since we got kicked out of that tower.
Oops. But they didn't get kicked out.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I bet that old lady would know.
16.
16. So I'll give you a little bit of a hint here. The story that Cassie is talking about corroborates with what Dratia told you about the formation of the 8 rings as well.
In the Tomb of the Morai.
Basically, she said that the people who eventually became the 8 rings were drawn together by a blast
Flash
of
in the
lightning
sky.
in the sky at Scald Seat.
So do you suppose that these Genasi and Cassia were the ones who first formed, maybe just the Genasi themselves, would formulate, or were the ones who started?
It seems as they do not name names here, but and she didn't give like specifics on numbers.
Nope.
There were the people that we refer to as paragons. They are the people who founded the creed for us. It's they're kind of like superheroes a little bit. What are superheroes? People like us.
I think you just made that up.
Right.
Heroes that are better than
Yeah.
heroes?
So is it possible that Dratia knows or knew Cassia?
Yes, very well.
We should have asked her, right?
We could probably ask her more information. I know that when we mentioned a little bit before, she gave us kind of where their first memories came from. It seems to corroborate here in the page. They are at. She's going to be at Scald Seat soon.
If they... This is just speculation, but if there was a burst of lightning over Scald Seat, perhaps that's where Ironbreaker is. Maybe there's a hidden dragon horde somewhere.
Or
It
that's
seemed
where
like
the dragon,
dragon
walked away.
disappeared through the portal into the other world, though. No.
It's possible that that dragon could have had something in an area as well.
At least a foothold or a door, perhaps. A beacon,
Some we could look into.
a tear in the
Could-
sky.
You need to go to Scald Seat, right?
Yes.
Victor, where is Scald Seat located?
I'm not sure I can say, perhaps, but I can bring you
If we
there.
guessed,
You're getting warmer.
You know.
Warmer. Do that again.
That's
Do the
true.
hot, cold
As
because
again.
you
I-
wouldn't technically be telling us. Is it near?
Does he just like pointing at places on the map and just be like,
I
Loopholes.
have a map here.
Every time you point, Victor's like,
Tell me if I'm getting warmer. We're here. Mm.
Yes, over there.
in the
Maybe.
mount- in the mount-
Allegedly.
In Malaga
Allegedly.
Mountains.
Interesting.
How is it that I have never heard of this place? I grew up in Malaga.
I mean, you grew up on the southern
That's
shores
true.
of
It's
the...
a big mountain range.
It is a huge mountain range.
There's a large fortress in the mountains. Or in the edge of the mountains, up in the hills.
I would very much like to visit this place.
It sounds like Bibble might be able to vouch for you. There's very strict visitation to this place. Again, it's like a holy.
Well, we
ground
did
for us.
we did save Dratia's life. So
It is true. She can vouch for you,
She'd vouch
Sorel.
for us, I'm sure. Well, let's kill a Venthy, save the world, and then
And then we can pretty much get into
Go
anywhere we
visit.
want.
Well, if
You know that thing? Yeah, we did that.
unless everybody just forgets it all of a sudden, then
Or they all hate us for getting memories back. Everything I forgot.
they were happier in their ignorance.
Yeah, exactly.
So, after a few moments of quiet contemplation in the crypt, everyone can head on out. There's no...
Victor will take the 2 scrolls, the one of her original letter and then this other one, and just kind of like gingerly put them together and
Okay.
stow them away.
Very nice.
I will remove the mark of the 8 rings off of it.
Okay.
As kind of like a gesture of like, leave this, like no one else can come and mess with this place. It's not really something that sticks out like a sore thumb type
Yeah.
of a deal.
Yep. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and just do a quick fast forward here because the next 5 days pass with just kind of like you guys explore the city. Like it's a very fine city. There's plenty of other things to do. There's all these little like trinkets shops that you can go to.
I go on the world famous buttress tour.
Yep, you definitely drag somebody. You drag Ezra along on the buttress tour.
Because he doesn't say no.
Yeah, because he can't say no right now.
That's what you get, Dallin, for not being here.
Buttresses.
Yep, and like
try.
they've got some cute little like. There's actually a science fair that goes on, or an artifice fair, where all these like little up and comer artificers have created potatoes that light a light bulb and things like that, or random Rube Goldberg machines, that sort of thing. So you guys can wander around that because it is like a public event that anybody can go to, and that's pretty fun. And of course, Ezra does go every morning and spends a few hours while the blade is being worked on. And then he does report back that there's like 5 people working on the glaive pretty much at once, so all trying to forge it and steep it in their magic, not in draconic magic. Yeah.
Amateurs.
While he's gone, Victor's going to be like, all right, now that he's gone, we need to come up with a plan to cheer him up. I'm thinking raining forever poncho.
No, I think we
You
need
keep
to
bringing
get rid
this
of the
up.
rain.
But I don't think that's going to make him
Sometimes
happy.
too much catharsis can be too much.
Maybe
Should we bake him a
a
cake?
poncho that is always sunshine.
Right. Something like that.
That sounds hot.
Pulls up the hood and there's
sweaty.
just like light on the face.
It's right in your eyes. Yeah.
Just like being in the desert
Get
in a
get
poncho.
the raccoon eye going on like you're in a TOS episode.
I think we just need him to talk to us and tell us what's wrong.
He's not
Maybe-
really been one for talking.
Killing Aventhi will cheer him up.
That's your answer for everything.
Well, yes, it is sort of the
Are
answer
you hungry?
for everything.
I mean, it
For
kind of
vengeance.
worked. Vengeance kind of worked with Julian a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. For a few days, anyway.
2 days, yeah.
He needs to learn not to stab his problems away. Or shoot them away? You stab
Well,
them away.
What's wrong with stabbing?
Let's teach him that lesson after the next stabbing and shooting. Because we could kind of use him.
We need him to not be a
He's gonna
pacifist
become
for
a pacifist.
the until we're done
Exactly.
with this. Yes.
I have turned away from the...
But after 5 days, you find yourselves back at the Half Hall Forge. Magnus comes up with the box and he sets it down. He opens it up and he goes, "There you are."
Victor will unwrap his hand finally and then just like take it out. And
Yeah,
just-
it definitely is.
Victor.
Yeah, it does not smell.
You didn't bathe at all?
It's like a cat.
It is symbolic.
Yeah.
Oh, symbolic.
Please, keep your hand over
I'll wash the rag later.
Every time he waves,
The
it's just-
rag, not the...
not the hand. The hand would never be washed.
Is that a thing? With the 8 rings, you never wash your hands?
It's kind of a symbol of mourning.
Ooh.
If you were to
Like
lose
even
your
after
blade.
you go to
Never
the
wash your
bathroom?
hands.
No, you wash your hands all the time. What are you talking about? No, I'm talking about when the symbol of wrapping your hand is it's like mourning. It's like when people throw ash on themselves and throw themselves on the ground and roll around and cry and stuff.
I've never
But it's
done
more
that
manly.
before.
I call that
It's more-
usually a tantrum.
Yeah, it's fair.
So go ahead and minus the coal off of there, and then you have 2 + 2 daggers now.
Sweet.
And then they do bring out, they said, it took a while, but we got it. And they hand you Skellbreaker, and as it like hits into your hands again, you can feel it like thrumming with additional magic.
It like rings as it's holding through the air.
Excellent work. I must say, I'm very impressed. I wasn't sure if, well, frankly, you'd be able to do what you promised, but you definitely delivered.
Yeah, well, it took a lot of work, but thankfully we got some skilled folk around here.
Let me
that's
ask
for sure.
this: did you have fun?
I mean, I won't say that it was unpleasant work. It was kind of the funnest work I've had in a little while here.
How was Ezra?
Quiet.
Oh, he did.
It's the best observer that I've ever had here, actually.
Oh,
So
that's too bad. I was hoping he would like open up or something to someone. Oh, you're here.
The half hall does have a therapy wing.
blacksmithing and therapy.
Yes. Well, it's blacksmithing therapy.
Yep.
You blacksmith and talk about your feelings.
You
while
pound out that anger.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a raid room.
Yeah.
pretty much. But yeah, so
I mean,
you
the
can go ahead and
easiest way,
minus the gold off
easiest
of
way
there
to
as well.
shape alt steel is like this.
Yep.
I'll shape the steel and then.
Do you have time that we can like chat a little bit.
Maybe later.
Are you
All right.
propositioning him?
I mean, if that's what it takes to talk about the shield, I suppose. And then minus for 5 days the 25 gold as well.
yeah.
Make sure you minus that off, and you turn in your weapon.
It was 25 per day.
per day.
So
Yes.
120.
Yep. And then again, we'll kind of just fast forward. There's not really much else going on. Yep.
Say it
Just,
really fast.
yep.
So
we just
There's lots of
we need to
montages.
go. Yeah, we need to go to the place where the black teeth are.
Yes, that's tomorrow. I mean, I doubt they're just going to let us walk into their territory without a fight, but I'd like to be in position for whenever this meeting happens.
Perhaps we could go do some reconnaissance, see what is there before their
Yes.
meeting.
I could probably also find some eyes and ears that don't tip off others in the city. At some point, would I run into any peskies in the city during our stay?
what do you mean by that?
He's the guy in the
Pesky?
tower. He's the goblin.
Oh,
Crossbow.
yeah. No, you have not run into
Okay.
him yet. No. Although, if you do want, we do have that. I know a guy if you wanted to run
Yeah,
it.
and just see if I could see if we have a locations. Maybe
See if
pay-
there's an alley we could duck behind, or I don't know. I could disguise myself, or at least make myself unseen fairly easily, but
I'm good at that too, but people can feel his scowling, pointing to Ezra.
right.
It's like he's in the corner of the room. You just kind of feel it. It's heavy.
I'll be in the tub.
I'll be in the pot.
Yes, the pot.
It is a lovely pot.
All right. So yeah, who would like to scout this place out?
I mean, I definitely would be
We're gonna
wanting
tandem.
to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Shall we all go in case there's a
Trouble.
bit of a scuffle?
I think that's wise. Perhaps you two go ahead. Bolt and I will hang back. Ezra, are you coming with us?
I might as well.
All right. Yeah, we'll go down to the Undercroft.
Okay. Let's go ahead and just get a round of cell checks. No disadvantage for those of you who are staying towards the back.
Oh,
So
okay.
and
there's
where-
definite
yeah.
disadvantage.
19.
31.
31, 19,
17.
17,
15.
15. Okay. So it takes a little bit. You kind of wander around what is Blacktooth territory. It's easy to find. The diviners wrote down the symbol that their territory is marked by, and it's easy to find the Thieves' Cant equivalent of it. There's not a lot of activity from the people that you would believe would be associated with the Black Teeth until you get to a specific air dock on the, we'll call it it's just on the south side of the river. And they seem to be congregating around here, and they're just stacking up some supply crates and everything, just as you watch throughout the day, but nobody gets caught or anything. You guys find a nice alley to sit in and watch them from.
Okay.
What is a were-rat? Does anyone know?
It's like a werewolf, but
Where castle?
Is this Eve or Torrey asking?
This is Eve.
Okay.
It starts out
right over there.
as a rat, or it starts as...
Well, right now they look like
Sorry,
gnomes
I
and
thought that's how it
halflings.
was.
Right. It's a lycanthropy thing, sort of akin to werewolves. I
Curse
believe,
or
but
disease, depending on the DM.
I'm not sure if it comes out with the full moon like it does with werewolves, or if something else triggers
Because
it.
what's a moon?
Because we don't know what the moon is, right? Good point.
Well, we know what it is now, thanks to Bolt.
Yes, true.
Yeah, if there's no moon, are they constantly in that state? If you
I have
if
a
you
feeling
did your
that they can change it, Will.
Lunaberry
My
beam,
guess.
will that make them change?
Have any of us ever met Aware anything in the past?
You guys kind of have. Benavido was a werewolf. One of the people in the trial that you were
had
in
the
for
collar.
Seredan.
This knowledge just seems
Yes.
to be innately inside me. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. But nobody has ever really
Must be
met a
part
werewolf
of it.
or any sort of lycanthrope. The closest that you've gotten was the Rakshasa, but that is
Or demon?
that's
fiend?
very
the way
different.
I'm stealthing is I'm just picking up a crate and walking down the road past them, then sitting it down,
Solid
grabbing
snakes.
another crate. I'm just doing this like back and forth with some random
And
crates.
if he gets caught, it's got to do the Metal Gear Solid like.
Yeah. Are you
like
guys
a mindless
gonna just stay there and
automaton.
stake? Yeah, stake out.
We don't seem to be drawing too much attention. Perhaps this is a good place to sit and wait. See if
Okay.
the gear crackers show up.
Also, is Darian with you?
No,
No.
just because
That'd be too
you would
conspicuous.
cause.
He's back in the pot. Rabbit
Trolls.
stew. Founder stew.
Excuse me, he's
But he's
not.
just doing a little doggy paddle around the whole distance.
Don't worry, it becomes marshmallow stew as soon as he drops his 0 hit points.
He's a giant peep.
So gross.
Yeah, he's a giant
Marshmallow.
bunny peep.
Oh, he is a peep. He totally is a bunny peep. It's amazing.
The longer
I
you
love
summon, the
peeps.
crunchier
That's
he
like
gets.
one of my gross, creepy candies that I love.
It is a
Come on.
very creepy
It's
candy.
better than
Yes,
the
peeps, the
circus.
creepiest candy of all.
It's just like weird.
Better than circus peanuts.
Oh,
Those are
I
gross.
tried.
Peeps are so good.
Casey's mom got some like 50s candy,
Mhm.
and it was some of those like chalk sticks, you know,
Yep.
and then some of like the candy buttons.
You get the wax lips.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, it wasn't the chalk sticks. It was the little wax bottles that you pop the top off of.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I was like,
That's not even from that might be from the 50s, but we
Yeah.
had those as kids.
But like, she
The
gave us
root
the
beer
chocolate
ones.
buttons, and I'm like, this is absolutely nothing. This is literally,
Garbage.
yeah, it is.
You're talking about the ones that are like
literally
on
garbage.
the ribbon?
like on a roll, yeah,
Yeah.
like on a ribbon of thing.
I
Yeah.
remember trying to eat those. They were like the most hard to eat useless candy.
Anyway, the
Peeps.
yes, Peeps, delicious, creepy
This
but
episode
delicious.
brought to you by Peeps. If you like Peeps, put a not scrolling crossbones.
Put a bunny head
Put peep.
emoji.
Put a peep.
Yeah. Put a Darian head.
In
If
the
you
comments.
like peeps.
Darian. It's a jackalope head, I guess.
Oh, you're right.
Is there a jackalope head?
The rabbit symbol of
A
something.
rabbit head.
Get the one.
Better write that down too, or else
With
you're
peace
not gonna
sign.
remember.
America's Funniest Home Video. Yeah.
Peace for Peeps.
Peeps
Yeah, so
for
it's
peeps. That's what it is. Okay, we're starting over.
Okay.
If you love peeps as much as I do, which is a lot, I could really use a peep right now. Peace for peeps.
Peace for Peeps. Okay. Yeah, so it takes the better part of the next day. You just kind of are just hanging around in this alleyway. One of you like goes to grab food every now and then from an undercroft food cart.
Does anyone want some peeps?
You guys, we found this place.
They have like
It's
peep
like,
stew.
It's just like taco shops.
This place is called Chanchi's. It's right here on the middle of the street. It's so good.
Yes.
Canon.
It's definitely
I
not
suppose-
down by
I suppose
Farmington.
canon. Yep. And after, when it's kind of getting close to the evening, not quite evening yet, it's maybe an hour before dusk, as it were, a small air skiff kind of glides its way into the dockyard, and all of the activity around the gnome starts kind of picking up the pace in these black teeth. And it pulls into the dock, and everybody roll me a perception check. We'll see who notices this. Who has the best eyes?
Sorry, I don't mean to be a bother, but I don't.
20.
If they bring out a death ray of some kind, you go run the other way.
I will not.
I will save her.
She will save me.
Not if she doesn't have a body. It's okay if I die.
Oh,
but it's not
I'll
if
jump in
she
front of it.
That's okay.
So, dirty 20. Victor?
This is investigation. I rolled, but I didn't.
Perception.
Perception, sorry. 14.
14. Bolt?
3.
3?
8.
8. So, Seredan, you actually see the person that steps off. It isn't Ganalan, and it doesn't look like it's a pirate of any kind. In fact, the way that they carry themselves and the glint of onyx on their finger very much evokes the 8 rings.
What?
What?
Vicky, there seems that's definitely not Ganalan.
Who is it?
They don't seem to be pirates, but I could swear that one of them belongs to the 8 rings.
No.
They have onyx symbolism on them.
No.
Something that looked familiar.
Well, maybe. Did they have a contract on them?
Not that you can see from this far away. You also
Yes,
do notice
right
that
there,
the
under their
symbol on the
shirt,
side of the
there's a
ship
bulge.
is a broken gear, which is the symbol that you've seen on the pirate
They're
ships.
definitely gear crackers.
On the skiff?
Yeah, on the skiff.
Does anyone have a...
You can make one out of blade of grass. and a drop
Don't you
of
have the
dew.
right tool for the job?
See?
I
those
do,
bugs
but I
like-
think it takes
But then you'll be
It takes
shunned
an-
from your
it takes an
society
hour of
for being
uninterrupted work.
invented.
Okay. Roll me a d20. Let's see if Bolt would have made a spy class before this happens.
7.
7? Nah.
So then from here, it's just a general. We get to see the glint and the
Seredan's not the glint, yeah.
She's
Now
not
that
the-
like you're looking looking
Which
at
one
the
is it? What are they wearing?
The first one that stepped off.
and you do see a gentleman in kind of dark leathers. He looks like he is an Earth Genasi.
okay. And is he shrouded, or like is there enough identifiable features from the distance that we're at?
He's pretty shrouded.
Shrouded. Okay.
Yep, he's got the standard like mask over his face.
Onyx Link. All right.
And he just kind of stands there off to the side and talks with one of the gnomes while they hurriedly like load several crates on there. And then
Sorry, I was going to ask, do you guys think we should... I'm assuming you said, because you told Biggie. Do we need to find a way to follow him?
Well, perhaps. Why don't I get a little closer and see if I can figure out what's going on?
If he is on official business, I am afraid I am not able to intervene. So I will have to back you up. Should he attack you,
How far away
it's
are
within
we
my
from
right.
them right
But
now?
you're probably about 100 feet or so.
Okay. I'm going to cast Song of the Unseen.
Okay.
should he attack? Where did she go?
Who?
I'll message back to Eve.
Wait,
and
what
say,
are we talking about?
An Alexa answers contributor that I
Computer.
translated.
I'll cast message back to Eve and say, I'll be in touch.
Please be safe.
And I'll go and just kind of get closer to
Did we leave her
them
back
and see
at
if
the
I
inn?
can hear what's going on.
Okay. What is the DC to notice you?
16 wisdom.
16 wisdom. Okay. Yeah, so you approach and you hear the gnome going, that's just about everything except for the special cargo, of course. And the gentleman nods and he turns to like the other kind of pirates that are kind of standing around there. They look more like pirates. It's just this one that is very clearly like a member of the Eight Rings. In fact, the closer that you get, the more you can see. Like he's got a few knives that are kind of floating just off his hips, and they say, "Yeah, everything's here. Everything looks ready to go." And he turns and he says, "Bring it out." And the Blacktooth nods, and he kind of twirls his finger around, and two gnomes come carrying out a kind of a golden box. And they'll step it up to the plank. And about this time is when you get up there, so you're kind of hanging by the shoulder. There's a moment of like where the Onyx Ring member kind of cocks his ear a little bit, but then he just kind of turns back to what he was doing. Mm-hmm. And they undo the latch and they open up the box. And inside is a shining piece of ald. That's probably we'll say about that big.
Okay.
And he nods and they close the lid again. He says, "That concludes our business then." And the Blackteeth are like, "Yes, of course. I mean, the payday of obviously. And his knife is going to come out and stab the main gnome right in the throat. And all of the other like pirates have been waiting, and they pull out these arc rifles, the kind of the standard ones that you've seen, and they start shooting and firing back. And it's not like one-sided massacre. As soon as like 3 or 4 of them go down, the rest of the Blackteeth kind of snarl and they shift into their were-rat forms and they start rushing through. Go ahead and just give me a dexterity saving throw, because there are wild arcs of lightning flying about everywhere. No disintegration beams, thankfully.
No disintegrations this time.
Not this
That's
time.
going to be a 12.
12? Yeah, you don't get hit by any just because it is a pretty low DC. They're not obviously targeting you. And they manage, like, it's not too big of a scuffle. The rest of you actually see it from far away, but you don't know what's going on. So what would
What do?
So I'd cast message back to
Okay.
Eve and say, it looks like they've got some old steel. I have a feeling that, my guess is that Aventi needs this in order to complete his version of the weapon.
How many are there?
There are 4 pirates and then the Onyx wing assassin.
Perhaps we ought to attack while they're distracted?
Let's go.
I cannot attack him on if he's
You cannot attack him, but can you attack the
Attack the
others?
pirates.
I will attack the
I
pirates,
grab
yes.
you by like the back of your coat and like push you forward.
All right, so the rest of you come rushing around the corner.
As soon as they get within, like, I don't know, say 30 feet,
Mhm.
I'd want to take a swing at the Onyx.
Okay,
Onyx ring.
so after he killed the main Blacktooth mercenary, he had picked up the box and he had moved onto the ship.
Okay.
Do you move onto the ship with him?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys start coming around the corner. You
Eve
rush
is
to
casting
about
bless.
50 feet. Yeah, Eve is throwing out bless. Give me a wisdom saving throw
Random
just to
people
see
on
if you can
the
cast it
street.
on. Well, actually, what's the range for? It's 30 feet.
30 feet.
Okay, so you wouldn't be able to cast it on.
And Quicksilver will hone his blades on the way.
Okay. So you guys are rushing forward, and one of the pirates calls out and points to you, and the Onyx assassin is going to turn towards you, and he's going to go, "Let's get out of here." And they're going to start breaking away from the dock as you can make your attack.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Eve, where's Sari?
I don't know.
We hear, "Hi-ya!" Oh, there she is.
Look for piles of dust, quickly.
That's a 29.
29 will hit.
Okay.
Just look for the blood splatter.
It's been so long since I've been in combat.
3 whole sessions.
Ooh, nice. Sorry. 27 damage.
27 damage. Okay. So the first, we'll say you get the 1 attack off, just because
Okay.
that would be enough of an indication that he's under attack, right? So yeah, you come flashing into existence, slash along the midsection of the assassin. He kind of grunts a little bit and steps back, and he goes, "Shit, get us out of here now!" And he's going to stretch his hands out, and a globe of darkness is going to flare out into the skiff. So he casts the darkness spell.
Okay.
And so the rest of you can't see anything, but if you would like to, we can go ahead and get into initiative here.
Yes.
And
We can see the darkness bubble, though, right?
you can see the darkness
So
bubble.
we know something has happened.
Yep.
Got it.
So let's go ahead and prep that, and we'll be right back.
Gotta have a little talk.
All right, let's go ahead and roll initiative, guys.
Oh, right.
Bolt,
15.
15. Eve,
13.
13. Seredan,
20.
20. Victor,
21.
21.
Blackjack.
Blackjack indeed. So yes, we are starting tonight with Victor.
All right. And right now we're facing out. Where's the where?
Most of the were rats are gone.
They're gone.
Yep,
Okay.
so we're not going
so
to
we've kind
count
of
them
approached
as part
and
of
it's
this fight.
dispatched. So at this point, has there been a tell? Because you dispelled the darkness, right? Would we hear shouting?
Yeah, they are definitely like pulling the gangplank up, and they're shouting an alarm. That's all you.
Victor's gonna do a quick survey
Okay.
around. Perception. That's gonna be a 13. Because I think I got a +1. He's looking for piles of dust that look similar to a human-sized.
You do
portion
not
of
find any piles of dust that would be
I don't know where
equivalent
she
to
is.
Seredan.
But we cannot let them get away. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to use my bonus action. 5, 10, 15.
Oh, yeah, because you were. I forgot.
30. Can I see anybody on the ship?
Yeah, you can see all of them.
All right, I'm going to avoid the one with the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll call out, is this by creed or contract? Let's see if he responds, and if he doesn't respond, I'll throw a dagger at someone.
He says, "Contract, help us fight off these interlopers."
Damn it. I hold my action.
Okay.
I will tell him, I am also here by contract. Apparently on the other side, I will not interfere lest you hurt her. And I'll hold my action, so if anybody Hits.
Sorry, evil.
Sorry,
Is
I'm gonna
your
throw a dagger.
13.
13, thank you. Okay, Seredan, it is your turn next.
Okay.
Oh, I will send with my bonus action. I'm going to send 3 defensive blades to Sarah.
Okay.
What does this guy describe his appearance to me?
Yeah, so
Is he built stocky? Is he?
he looks like he's pretty sturdy. He is an Earth Genasi, so he's kind of on the bulkier side. But he still has that knife dancer physique where he's thinner, more agile looking than he is built for tough.
I'm gonna use Quicken Spell.
FJORD, right? Fjord.
Yeah.
Fjord tough.
I'm gonna use Quicken Spell
Okay.
and cast Vortex Warp on him.
Okay.
He has to make a Constitution saving throw of 16.
Right. Let's see. He does not make his save.
Yes. Okay, I love this spell. So I can move him 90 feet.
Okay.
And I'm going to put him 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 25, 80 right here. And he's just going to be like...
Okay. Let me go ahead and see if he dropped the box he was holding. He did set it down on the deck when you attacked him. So
Okay.
yeah, so he just warps out of existence and appears. Eve, you're still like running, and he just like appears in front of you.
Sarah, what did you do?
And then with my action, I'm going to make some attacks on Pirate Number in the Red.
Okay. Pirate number in the red.
Pirate Number in the Red.
Pirate in red.
You know knife dancing. Wow. 2 natural ones and a 17.
Oh, so
So that's 27 to hit.
27 will hit.
For
25. Wait, no.
that's. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That's not 27 to hit. That is 22 to hit.
22. That will still hit.
Okay. I forgot to subtract the 5 from. Anyway.
That you two are blessed.
That's gonna be
I am also blessed.
I think we're all blessed.
Well,
23.
you're still
Hashtag
totally blessed.
23 damage.
23
Seriously,
damage. Okay.
So blessed.
And then second attack will be.
You're adding in your +2 bonus this time, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be a dirty 20.
Yep, that'll hit.
For 27.
Ezra
damage.
blessed too.
27.
I
It was
suppose,
not
yes.
blessed 'cause I forgot.
Oh.
And I didn't
Oh, you just did
technically
it. That's
cast
fine.
it.
Yeah, so that your 2 swings just cut right through him
Okay.
and take him down, and it feels like it's even smoother than it usually is because of the additional magic. But yeah, you take him down.
This blacksmith's me that well.
At which point, I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And is there anybody else in 10 feet of where that guy was? Within 10 feet.
Just me.
Just you? Yeah. Roll me a dexterity saving throw, please. As the gun that he's holding discharges and vaporizes itself.
That's gonna be
Spectacular.
Oh, good. 17.
17. Okay, so you're just gonna take half damage from this.
Okay.
But the blade wouldn't reduce this damage. It would have to be an attack, right?
It would have to be an
area effect.
attack. Yeah, it wouldn't be an area effect. So 6 lightning damage.
Okay.
As it just kind of, because you are wearing metal armor, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, as it just kind of explodes in a static of shock that destroys the weapon and deals damage to anybody around it.
Okay.
Okay. Then it is Bolt. Well, you're running along and there is somebody right in front of you. So
I'm gonna tackle him.
Freaking love that
Okay.
spell.
just clock him as you're running by. Go ahead and roll your attack roll.
So this actually like a tackle, like a grapple.
Oh, tackle him. Not attack him. Tackle him.
Yeah, a tackle him.
I'm gonna tackle him.
So it is a grapple. So it'll be
Yep,
my
against his-
athletics versus his acrobatics or athletics.
Okay.
17.
He rolled a 24, so you try and like leap at him and he manages to get his footing and dance away a little bit.
You could, with your second attack, try again.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try again.
Okay.
22.
He only rolled a 10 that time. Yep, so you managed to... He is now grappled, so his speed is 0. Okay.
Now, can I move while grappling him?
Yeah, half speed. You can grab him.
Yep, so I'll just say that as part of my movement, I'll go half speed with him.
Okay.
Like I'll just, part of the tackle, I'll just, or, grab on him and keep pushing forward.
I'm surprised you didn't throw him off the edge, by the way.
I thought that we'd want to talk to him.
That makes sense. Okay. Alrighty, then
Take your
it's actually his turn next.
Yeah.
I do say, like surrender and you won't be hurt.
Yet.
In my ED 209 voice.
That's what I was going to say to you. And then he's going to cast darkness again.
Doesn't matter, I can still feel you.
And then he is going to make a trio of attacks against you, actually. And remind me, there's no disadvantage for grapple.
No.
Right? It is just, his speed is 0.
Unless it's a ranged attack.
That's right, yep. And he can see in the darkness. So that is a 26 to hit.
Yep.
What's as big as mine? I don't know.
Watching Spaceballs?
No, I haven't seen it in like 10 years. But it's a good movie. Only one man.
What does he cast darkness on?
He'll go ahead and cast it on one of his daggers, as the other one kind of slashes around at you. And that is a total of 34 necrotic damage for his first attack here.
I should have drank the dang potion.
Okay, his next attack is a 25 to hit.
Yep.
Okay.
The way you died.
24 necrotic damage.
What?
And then the
You're
third
like
attack.
whispering that as you like stab him.
25 to hit.
Punch.
No, Cory just fudges all his rolls again.
Always. No, you're literally in darkness. He has advantage against you, so that is why he's hitting all of these attacks. You guys should know this strategy pretty well.
If only everyone hadn't gotten rid of their dark vision.
I thought
That one's just 19.
I just won't help him.
necrotic
All right.
damage.
Well, he's
He's attacking your friend. I'm assuming at this point, are these guys like stopping, trying to pull away since he got bamfed?
They have not taken their turn yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So, let's see. And then you feel him slip out of your grasp as he uses a bonus action and shadow steps away. Okay. Where is 60 feet? Did that put him back on the boat?
I moved him 90,
90? Okay.
so he probably would
But
have
then he got drowned.
You get to the
15.
about where I'm at. I was 60. Well, walking 60 feet is where I'm at.
50 would
Yeah,
give him
but
the
it
boat.
also has to be
He went diagonal.
dim light. So you know what? He's just going to appear on the other side of the darkness, so you guys can't see him, but Victor, you can see him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's got to come out of a shadow as well.
Well, if
And
it's on his dagger, it goes with him.
The dagger is still floating in the air. He is a knife dancer, my friend.
I see.
Yes.
Brother of the Onyx Wing, please don't make me do this.
You're the ones who are attacking me. You should be helping me, helping our wing. And then
He's
it's Eve's turn.
Vicky, he's in league with a
So,
Venthy.
somebody appears in front of you. Bolt grabs them and drags
What's
them
more
away.
important? It's the
A
fate
globe
of the
of darkness
world.
appears as you're still running towards it. What would you like to do? And then you hear Bolt grunting.
Ow. Ow, ow.
Yeah.
That's what
Stop.
sounds like
Please.
bolt grunts.
Yep.
I am hurt.
That's the painful. Please stop. You're
That's
stabbing me.
the painful.
Cease and desist.
What should I do?
Robocop style.
Should I use one of my new bard spells? Or should I help Bolt? Are you pretty hurt?
So you cannot see him right now, FYI. So you would have
whatever
to.
spell you have.
So if you have a spell that says
Yeah,
you
your
have to
creature
be able
that
to
you see.
see,
Yep. Keep that in mind. I don't know, Bolt, are you hurt?
I'm pretty hurt, yes. Does Radiant Weapon, if I would have turned the fist on, would it have helped?
No, magical darkness covers over everything, unless it specifically says that it clears magical darkness.
Okay.
Nope.
I will run after him.
Okay.
And attack with tempered mercy.
15, 20, 25, 30.
So you'll be within the darkness.
Unless you wanted to Misty Step or...
Mr. Sip, you have to be able to see though, right?
Yep.
You can you teleport to an area you can see, yes.
So if she, she'd probably want to do it while she's out here.
If you could like teleport to here.
You wouldn't be able to. Basically, this sphere of darkness is covering over this whole portion of the dock. So you have to run through
As
it.
soon as the darkness pops
But
up.
you would be able-
This again?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to move to the side and like see over here, move to the side, or whatever you want to do.
Well, I would not be able to see him, or I would.
You can't see him right now. You can try and swing blindly at him, which would just be a disadvantage. Hoping that he's there. Obviously, that's technically metagame knowledge, but I'm not too concerned about it. Considering that you probably heard him talking to Victor as well, that shouldn't be too big of a stretch.
I guess we will swing at him.
Okay, sounds good.
So,
Don't forget your bless.
because I wouldn't even be able to see her coming.
Yep.
Nice.
That is 23.
23 will hit. As the flail comes out of the darkness and slams into his shoulder.
It's like, I even saw that coming. How did I let that happen?
What? Stop distracting me, blinded one.
I am. I couldn't see her either. I'm sorry.
So that is 12.
12?
That's
Okay.
my first attack.
All right.
Attack. Is for 20.
20 will hit.
Oh, I was going to use one of those. I did roll it, so.
You can only use one a turn.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah.
yep.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. It was 3 plus 5, 8.
8 damage. And you're adding in your extra, like, D8 on top of that, right? Okay. All right.
Yeah, this one.
And then
Not
you
good.
just have the 2 attacks. So I'm
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the flail comes out and smashes into him a couple times, despite the darkness. Okay.
And what?
I was just gonna ask, do you have to see somebody in order to give them bardic inspiration? I don't think you do. I think they have to either
Hear
see
you?
or
Yes,
hear you.
That can
Hearing,
hear
yeah.
you.
I can hear you
Or just hear you.
Okay.
within a certain
How
range.
far away is within 60 feet?
Oh, we're all within 60 feet.
Even the people on the boat, technically.
Okay.
You could inspire
You random
the barrel.
pirate.
You
Then
random pirate.
I will say,
You look great.
Seredan, you look really cute today.
The ring goes. Bloop.
That definitely inspires me.
Okay.
Is that a
Inspiration.
D6 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's my inspiration die.
All right. Then it is the 2 pirates' turns. One of them is going to pull out a cutlass. Technically, it's a longsword. A longsword. Make a pair of attacks against you with disadvantage on each. So that's a 9 on the first one
Yes.
and a 16 on the second one. Okay. The other one is going to. He is going to actually start wheeling away. Yeah, the plank is basically going to start flying. So move about 20 feet out.
Okay. 5, 10, 15,
Yep.
20.
Yep. he is pulling away, and the plank is falling now.
It's gone.
So, yep, it is gone.
So call that 20 feet. The plank.
Yep. Yeah, you can hear it like to the water below.
Okay.
Then-
Which was the one that was on the wheel?
The one in the front.
This guy?
Yep.
Okay.
And it is Ezra's turn.
Good to
And he is going to attack the one in the front.
Good.
Ixburn is going to... I don't think Ixburn can fly out
reach.
that far.
Probably not.
Yeah. But he will go ahead and make his first attack, which was a natural 1. The other one's a crit, though.
Nice.
Typically, he does about 25 damage or
Well,
something.
And it's a plus 10.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, they only
Plus
have
10 plus-
like they have less than.
And if
they
he's
have, like,
critting,
26
it's
life.
probably closer to 30.
Yep. So yeah,
If he
he's able
pushes
to
them,
take
right?
the second shot. Just takes the driver out, and he falls over the edge.
Nice shot, Jaja!
Grab the wheel. And the third one
I'll be
is
fine.
a 19. So
Oh, yeah, that's 3
just roll
attacks
me.
then.
What is it? A D10 for the longbow. Roll me the D10.
I think it's
So his damage is basically
plus 10 with the sharpshooter.
it's 10 plus his dex plus his
Which
bracers
is
of archery.
7 or 8.
So I'm pretty sure I think he adds
10.
17 to whatever he hits.
Okay.
So call it 21.
21. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't quite take the other one out.
Okay.
Twang.
But then it is Victor's turn.
What would the Paragon do?
They would defend their family. Victor is going to... We all know how well Victor is with strength checks. He's going to try and calm him down and say, "Please, brother, stop this, now." He's going to try and grapple him with a 9. That's a 10 minus 1. Because I'm so good at this.
They rolled an 8.
I see you're equally as weak as I am.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys I just
I just grab him by
clash
the
hands.
shoulders and I'm going to be looking at him. I am not here to hurt you. Please.
Well, your friends are doing plenty of hurting
Leave.
for you.
Please.
Why are you here?
We need to talk to Venti.
And why aren't you at Scald's Seat with the rest of the 8 rings?
I did not get an invite till recently. I was banished for some time. I am Victor Udonta in the middle of
Casual
conversation.
conversation.
And that, I guess, if that's
Well,
the
they're
6
hugging
seconds.
each other.
we're gonna go to
Tell
the
me,
next.
where are you from?
And if some, and I will, I will, like, if somebody tries to take a swing at him, I will try and take the blow.
Okay. All right, Seredan, it's your turn.
I'll attack this guy.
The ship is starting to list a little bit, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. But go ahead and attack.
That's a 26 to hit.
That'll hit. Can you do 4 damage?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect.
And
Yep.
That was a 21 to hit. Sorry, I need to remember.
Remember that.
20 plus 5, not plus 10. And then, let's see. Can I try and grab the wheel and
Yeah, go ahead and give me... It would be a proficiency intelligence check to try and maneuver an airship.
Okay.
You probably don't have proficiency in it, actually.
Right.
It would just be your straight
There's
Oh,
like
that's
land
good.
vehicles
17.
and air vehicles.
17? Yeah, you managed to at least, like, turn it enough that it'll start drifting back towards the dock. So.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess that's my turn, yeah? That was probably
That
my
would be your turn, yeah.
And then we all fall off.
You said he left the crate
Yes.
on the ship, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd definitely, once the dock got back, I'd scoop it up. And
so
put it in my bag of holding, actually. Or is it
so I
too
would
big?
say that your action
Okay.
this turn would be
Sure.
that you are moving the ship in, or your other action, but it wouldn't be too big. It's just kind of like
Like a
the
little
thing that way,
chest.
So yeah, the
Okay.
chest is that big. It is his turn, and the darkness is going to shift and move with the dagger as he pulls it back towards him.
Okay.
And as it envelops both of you, he says, "I don't have time for this. Either come with me or let me go." And this is as it's like fading through.
Where are you going?
To Scald's Seat.
What were you doing with the old steel?
So the dagger is going to continue moving on.
Okay.
And he is going to, again, shadow shift. So it can move 30 feet, and then he moves basically and jumps out back onto the boat.
Are we in combat order still?
Yes, we're still in combat order. It is still his turn. He is not within the darkness, though, right now.
Oh, it went to like right here.
Yeah, went to like right there, and then he jumped out of the edge of it. And he's going to make a trio of attacks on Seredan.
Okay.
Wait.
He has disadvantage yet?
Yes, he does, because he is not in darkness. And he does not have...
Alt still?
They're working for the gear crackers. Who we know is possibly teaming up with.
16.
I'm just trying to figure out if they're going to do
A
something.
17.
Yes.
And a 16.
Block the world.
Yep. So the this kind of shadowy blade comes around and tries to slash at you, and you just kind of duck and weave out from under it.
Okay.
And then it is Eve's turn.
I don't trust this guy. And not just because he stabbed me 3 times.
Probably not so much for right now.
I think you could probably, like, Misty step to here.
Okay,
30 feet, 5,
let's do that.
15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah.
Poof.
And then jump onto the
Jump
boat.
aboard.
Okay. Give me just a quick athletics check.
19 plus
19?
7.
Yeah, good enough.
A
Yep.
lot.
Yep, you can land on and then just stand up right behind him.
Okay.
Hello, love.
What?
Oh, behind you.
And then Tempered Mercy comes swinging around and we'll see if it hits.
And there goes his head.
Not again.
Ooh, yeah. That's a 28.
28 will hit.
Good job. Sorry, I had to abandon baby dice. We weren't performing.
You left
We
those
need
baby
some
dice on the
performance
firehouse steps.
enhancers.
Yep.
Yeah, you do your little magic. So that is a 13.
13 damage. Okay.
Yes.
Second attack.
Second attack is 18.
18 will hit.
Nice.
That was the sound he made when he got hit.
That's another 13.
You hit him right in
Yeah.
the kidney.
Yeah. Tempered Mercy definitely slams into his side and he crumples and he goes, dang it, again. And then he's going to like try and stand up and shake it off.
It's like when you get punched really hard in the kidney, you just want to puke.
Ezra's going to go next, and I don't think anybody would be surprised to see that he shoots a trio of times.
I think you missed me.
Oh, I did. Bolt, go ahead.
I'm going to drink a superior healing potion to get the full thing.
Yeah. Here, I'm giving you an epic die just because I missed your turn, which would have been before the Shadow Blade.
84 plus 8. 32. 40. 40 healing.
Okay. And then anything with your bonus action and movement.
Yeah, I'm going to start moving up.
Okay.
I'm gonna, as I kind of run by you. Victor, what are you doing?
Come on, Victor.
Get your head
No
in
response?
the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's right now he's kind of very torn.
So that's 2 misses and a crit from Ezra. So 10 plus, roll me another d10, and we'll add 17 to it.
Don't die,
One.
I'm
One.
sorry.
Actually, can I just say, I think I would have stepped like right here, so I was within 5 feet of Sari.
Sure.
Okay.
So 28? 28 damage with the crit. The other 2 attacks missed.
Good thing he's good at shooting, because you guys are standing behind the target shooting at.
Victor, it is your turn.
The missing ones.
Alright. I'm going to throw one of my daggers and then swap places with it.
Okay.
Yep. Please, stand down. We will... Let's talk this out, please. He's got like arrows on his back.
Either help me or get out of my way and call off your dogs. Woof!
I'm sorry, I was told by the Creed I need to protect my family, and if you're not going to abide, I'm gonna try and stab at him.
Okay.
7 plus I think it's plus 9, so that's 16 to hit.
16 will miss.
Miss. Yeah.
Yep.
I do not want to do this, but if you will endanger my family,
You are endangering your other family.
I know.
Seredan. At this point, the boat does slam into the dock, so everybody give me a dexterity check that is on the ship, please. You're looking for a 15.
It's a 15 lot.
Technically, it's a saving throw, but you wouldn't get the aura benefit
so
from this.
21.
Dex.
Yeah.
I'll use my feature that lets me 16.
Okay.
Sorry, what?
15.
Okay, I have it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yep, everybody's good.
I'm attacking.
Okay.
That's a 23 to hit.
23 will hit.
4. 20 damage.
20 damage.
Second attack.
And you're making sure to minus your 5.
That's a 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
For what's these guys? Actually, 20 damage.
20 damage. Okay.
And then butt action
Okay.
is a 23.
23 will hit.
And this is only 21 damage. Butt action hit harder.
Okay, 21.
And if it matters, I'd be going non-lethal.
Yeah, that does matter because that was enough.
Okay. So yeah, butt, that's perfect.
Yep,
'cause
so
it's
you
butt.
bring the butt in, and as you do, there's this moment of, like, calculation on his face.
Mhm.
And you bring your butt in to try and just, like, knock him out, and he tilts his head down and makes sure that his temple is lined up with the butt of your blade, and it slams into it and cracks his head, and he just collapses to the ground. The darkness fades, the dagger falls limp.
Okay. Is he unconscious?
And you can give me a medicine check.
Yeah. Give him a medicine check. It's not very good. It's not very good. That's a 6.
Yeah, you're not really sure. Like, he's out cold as far as you can tell.
Eve, can you tell if he's alive? I tried to just knock him out, but he kind of seemed to get in the way of the haft there intentionally at the end.
That's exactly what you're going to tell the police, right?
Yeah.
He just got in the way of it. Not my fault.
Medicine check?
Yeah.
That's 6.
6.
Victor is gonna kind of push Sarai. I'm just gonna shove her back and kind of get down and
What have we done?
I want to try and check for a pulse.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a medicine check.
That's a 19. I think my medicine's
Yeah,
not
that's
that
good
great.
enough. There is no pulse. Ezra and Bolt can arrive at the ship here, which is just cracked into the dock at this point.
Victor's gonna grab or gather the knives with, like, he's gonna pull out a kind of a velvety cloth and grab the daggers. He's gonna pick up the corpse on his shoulder,
Okay.
and he's just gonna walk down the pier.
Sarah will pick up the alt steel and put it in her bag of holding.
Okay.
I'm gonna call after Victor. You said something about a contract.
Yes, he was not here because
Does he keep the contracts with him like you do?
possibly this is not the time.
No, this is absolutely the time.
And Victor will keep walking.
Chain whip.
Probably.
It's only 300 gold. We gotta just find some more diamonds.
Okay.
And my ultimate goal is to
We
find
wanna
a
bring
quiet
him
place
back.
to.
Okay.
Unless
Yeah, if you want to call
can't
out,
walk
call
very
out, I'll
fast.
stop.
You can't
Yeah,
walk
I'm
very
holding
fast,
him slowly.
Yeah.
Victor, stop!
What?
I will bring him back.
Okay.
Make sure it's
Hurry, we
not
only have a
tied up.
minute.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring him back.
yeah, so are you binding him first? Is that
Yeah,
what you
we'll
said?
make sure. Well, at least binding his knives and stuff.
Yeah, tie him down.
Okay. So you cast
We do
Revivify.
have some handcuffs.
Yeah, you do.
You do have some copper mats.
Fuzzy those. Actually, you gave them to me. Actually.
They're not fuzzy, so they're not that good.
So you put him in manacles.
Yeah.
And you,
Actually, it's been 6 days. So, I mean,
they've been used.
they've been used.
That's funny.
So Eve, you kind of reach down and you touch his forehead. The ring that Seredan gave you glows and then dissolves away, and you can see like the little head wound that Seredan caused kind of like flows back into itself, and he what? And immediately, Victor, you can feel his knives starting to like shift in your grip. So if you want to continue to hold on to them,
You want me to hold on to him?
I'm going to take them for the time being. Again, they're still in the
They're still in
the
the
wrapping.
bag of holding.
I'm going to put them in the bag of holding.
okay, yeah, they get cut off, and he starts struggling in the manacles. He goes, "What
I
is
will
this?
return
How am I
your
alive?"
blades. They have not been sullied.
You idiot!
I'm not making.
Stop.
I'm not making any eye contact with them either. I'm like very.
Or I will
Yeah.
undo my.
I'm going to
hero's
cast Zone of
action.
Truth.
Okay. And
You will answer the questions I ask of you. What is your name?
Narek.
Narek. Are you truly a member of the Onyx Wing?
Yes.
What are you doing here?
Getting the Ald for Aventhi.
I told you.
And do you serve Aventhi?
We are contracted with him.
Who is we?
The 8 rings.
Like the entire 8 rings.
Yes. So you don't know what you've gotten into here.
What
Especially you.
What the hell is going on?
did you know about this, Victor? Do I have to push you into this zone of truth?
I will be in the zone of truth.
You like step into it willingly.
I was not there.
What is happening right now at
Scald
Scald Seat?
I refuse to answer.
Is Aventhi in Scald Seat?
I refuse to answer.
Do you want to die?
That would be preferable.
Then we'll keep you alive.
Unfortunate.
How long have you been working for Aventhi?
2 months.
What is he giving you in return?
Money and knowledge.
What sort of knowledge?
Where we came from.
Well, we have that same knowledge.
That's nice.
It is, actually.
It is true.
And he said he could bring back all the memories that were taken from us.
Yes, but at a great cost.
It's not like this world has done anything for us.
We want to rectify what has happened. But
Then why are you stopping me?
because Aventhi is pure evil.
Lying to you as well.
I just want you to know, I've been rolling like DC 18 to go this. I've gotten 4 natural 20s in a row to not help him. Just saying.
You keep upping the difficulty and you keep critting.
I
Well, that
rolled the
deserves
best
an
I
epic
have
die, at
right
least,
here
I
that I have at
Preston
any point.
DMing himself over
Yep.
here.
Do you have any more questions, or are you done?
Who
with
made the
me?
decision to partner with Aventhi?
Taka?
Who's talking? Do I know?
He'll turn to you. Don't know Taka.
Victor will visibly kind of deflate a little bit.
Victor,
Yeah.
who's
He
talking?
is the apex of the 8 rings.
The apex.
The leader.
Yes, he is essentially our primary leader in our stratocracy.
I can't say that in Victor's voice. Stratocracy.
Has
Stratocracy.
Dratia, that's her name, right?
Tortilla.
Does Dratia know any of this?
I don't know where that person even is. Nobody's seen the Prime in forever.
She is alive, and she is on her way to Scout Seat.
Well,
We
she'll
have
join
one
up
ally
then.
there.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Victor. We may have to kill all of the 8 rings. Besides you. You can start it again.
You and Dratia. Do it right this time.
Damn it, but Ezra, I hate it
You could
when
have
he's
little
right.
8 rings babies together.
I hate it when Ezra's right.
Victor, you can end this. You can come home to your real family.
Perhaps we will. But you will enter into a new contract with me and my friends. You will take this old steel
But no, he won't.
to Aventi with us. And I will pay you handsomely.
I can take you as far as my ship.
Where is Aventi now?
This is the strongest lead we've had to go right
I
to
still
the heart
refuse
of
to
the
answer.
beast. I don't know that we can. If we might lose our chance to capture him unaware. If he's expecting a shipment,
I'm not particularly interested in capturing him, but I am particularly interested in keeping this old steel out of his hands.
then we will. Will you hire us to help you safeguard this old steel?
No.
What is Aventi paying you?
More than you could.
I don't know, Ezra's pretty rich over here. The pig. Boink.
If you agree to allow us to accompany you and to not
I
violate...
agree to nothing, Victor. You will free me right now and come back to Scald Seat with me.
I think we go to Scald Seed, but perhaps not with him.
You know where it is.
Yes.
Then we can get there.
Do you tell me, if it wasn't Aventi, if it was just a contract, would you still follow him?
I refuse to answer.
All right, you have a few days that you can think about it.
And where is he going to be thinking about this, Victor? I need you to understand that he's still alive because you are my brother. But this does not seem like a great situation.
I agree, but would you have me go to your village and kill your people?
Perhaps if they were trying to destroy the world.
Being
Or
led
perhaps they are misguided?
by a homicidal maniac.
Well, if there's a way that we can stop them without taking lives, then we should try, but you know how Aventi is.
I want to hear from Taka's mouth if this is his will or if he is under some guile.
But if we reveal ourselves to him, and he is in league with Aventi, regardless of whether it's willing or not, we're playing our hand and we'll be captured.
Fair.
What sort of allies do you have within the 8 rings?
I'm afraid it does not go very far. The third ring, Lyra, my mother, if she has forgiven me, my father, Borak, my old mentor. But again, it's all dependent on them recognizing what the prime, or not the prime, that Dratia had done. If they do not abide by it, then I cannot say.
We ought to get a hold of Dratia, if we can.
Did we ever get a ring with her? Like some kind of a communication ring?
No.
Or?
She did not have one.
But we knew that she's with the Tempered Requiem?
Yes, she is with the Tempered Requiem, and they were heading to.
Skullseed.
Yeah, unfortunately, like they weren't. She wasn't there at the battle at the Beacon, where the Tempered Requiem was. They had said that she was continuing on her journey to Skullseed.
I will abide by your decision. If you are all also my family, and it does not go against my creed to defend you, but I do not wish to kill this man.
We will not kill him.
Perhaps we should.
What are we going to do with him?
If he is left alive, he knows what we are going to do now. And he could send word for them to capture us. If we could get to Skullseed without them knowing that we were coming.
We bring him with us. We can still have him in restraints. I have his daggers.
But we need to try to see if there are any allies left in Skullseed. Not just walk in announcing what we're doing here.
What you DMing over there?
I'm just saying how Victor feels.
Victor, what would you do? What do you propose?
He does not seem willing to enter into a contract with us. He believes that Aventi can pay him more despite all the vast wealth that we have, access to dragons and stuff, Did he make any? Nothing? Yeah. I think that we're all very full of adrenaline right now and giving some time to calm down.
I don't have adrenaline.
He also does not have a bum hole.
Yeah.
I would.
So that does not affect my decision making either.
I would say if we give him a day as we travel using his boat, maybe make his delivery for him, or delivery to sneak in. If he does not cooperate after that time,
he's not going to cooperate at all.
I say we leave him to, if we're over the water, leave him to his own fate.
Can I do an insight check on him to see, I don't know, if I feel like perhaps he could be persuaded?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Oh no. What was it?
4.
Oh no.
You aren't really sure. You're not really getting a read off of him this time.
We
He's
don't
kind of
need
sitting there
his
with his eyes
boat. We've
closed.
got Kes. I say we just take the greatest treasure to Skullseed as quick as we can, if he'd be willing. If we tried to go to this... I'm trying to think of a word that I would use for this guy. For this traitor's... if we try to take his ship, as soon as we approach, we'll be attacked by whatever crew he has on board. It's a huge mess, Victor. He said
But
himself,
if we leave,
the 8 rings are in league with Aventi.
It is, and if we leave with him, his crew will also still know that he is not there and that someone is meddling. That will also alert Aventi, right? Maybe he goes into hiding, we have a hard time finding him.
His boat would also be cover to get into Skullseed.
So perhaps we take the greatest treasure, we put really cool guns on it, and we shoot the other people in their boat and take their boat to Ocean's 11 it. I don't know.
Don't know what
How
Ocean's 11
long
is.
is Zone of Truth?
That's more me.
10 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
I
sure
will
it's like 10
again.
how many... Ask him... It only works if you ask him
Yeah.
questions, right? Let's see if we can find out more information about his ship.
Tell me about the crew upon your ship.
No. I'm done answering your questions.
Very well. I can't force him to answer a question.
Well,
Victor, take my ring.
I'll take it from him.
Okay. As soon as the ring is off his finger, a globe of darkness appears, and you hear him kind of slip through the shadows again, and you all watch as he falls off of the dock and probably a mile down towards the river below.
Okay, well, that's one problem solved.
That's gonna
Cost us
hurt.
300.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
300
that's
gold
not her.
stuff.
That's dead. Falling
That
a
is
mile on.
that is literally him being like that. That's like 30 seconds to falling too, going a mile.
Yeah.
You're like, I made a mistake.
Well-
I suppose at least we got his name. I can return his daggers to his family.
We have no idea where his ship is.
No.
Is there anything in like the horizon? Any big boats that floating about them?
No,
we need
is
to make our way to Scaldseed as quickly as possible and see if we can't find Dratia en
I
route.
agree.
Okay.
But first, we need to get 300 gold worth of diamonds.
I can help.
Perhaps a couple
That was my
worth of diamond.
promise.
Engagement ring.
I don't know. There was
so-
no official proposal.
That's true.
Is there anything on the anything else on the ship
I'll buy you
that
another
we
one.
need that we can see that would be?
The rest of it's just like return trip supplies, basic food and
I mean, we could use supplies. Just take this boat to Keskas.
Take whatever you want. I'm gonna.
We'll just go wire this boat up to Keskas's boat.
We could do that, but I was actually planning on just breaking the mechanism that keeps it afloat and just have it into the water. It just falls right on top of the guy.
double that.
He's like,
Yes.
he's like, every bone in my body's broken, but I am still alive.
That's fine.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I say we head back to the copper pot and reach out to Keskas and see how soon he might be able to leave, and if he can't go right away, maybe we find another ship.
Okay, so as you guys head off the dock with Bolt taking a moment to go down to the Solarium core and just like full on just smash your fist into it, you hear it crack and disable, and the whole ship starts like lurching.
And then I. Whoop.
Yep, and you guys can head on back. We'll say on the way there you can find a diamond shop or a jewelry shop
Yeah,
that
Victor
has
will
a
pay for it.
300 gold diamond. So you can at least grab one more set of that. If you want to grab a few more, you can as well. We'll say they're probably enough for like 2.
I mean, as long as we've got a couple, we've got backup.
Yeah. And then you do also, like, while you guys are haggling for the diamonds, Bolt, you can message Kes, and when he hears about the seriousness of the situation, I'm assuming that you
Yes.
implore on him that.
Yes.
He
yes.
does say that.
Yes,
Yes. He does say that he can be ready to leave in 10 minutes if you guys get to the ship.
Victor will, on the way back, will just gonna talk to Eve and apologize for his melodrama, but that he'll abide by her decision. So.
Victor, you have a voice in the Wayward Watch, and what I say is not always the hard and fast rule. It's not the law. I want you to feel comfortable voicing your opinion. I think this is a unique situation because Abenthi he's just the worst.
I agree, he is the worst.
And
He probably has smelly socks.
without a doubt,
And I imagine he's got really bad breath too.
Halitosis to
Absolutely.
the max.
probably needs
Turns Craggy into a
help with
toothbrush.
that. And I also understand that this is
Who would
your
disrespect Craggy like that?
family that you've been raised with, and you worked so hard to come back into their good graces. And perhaps we can convince them, but I'm afraid.
If you're forced to choose between the 8 rings and saving the world, what will you choose?
You can be honest with us, Victor.
Without the world, there is no 8 rings.
remember your membership in the Wayward Watch depends on your answer.
Is this going to come up in my annual performance review?
This is your annual performance review.
Attendance is outstanding, but he did say that he would abandon us for the 8 rings.
I would save the world people, even if they may not want to be saved. I mean, if it meant making myself an enemy of my people, I have been an enemy for so long. I haven't really
They did kind of
gone back on it.
hang you up to dry.
Yes.
And Dratia did say that they seem to have lost the old ways. Maybe
Fair.
maybe they've been twisted by Aventhi and
I can just
Other
hear
things.
Ezra saying, "I told you so."
Cult.
I want some sort of like.
Definitely a murder cult.
I think Sarah's having a hard time right now, like
Okay.
trusting Victor after seeing the way that he like didn't really help us, like pushed me out of the way after I knocked him out.
Mhm.
Like, can I
Sarah versus
have him make
Victor.
like a persuasion check to see if I believe him, or what would that be? Like, make an insight check.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make an insight check. 9.
Oh boy.
I rolled a 2.
I would say that you don't trust Victor right now.
Yeah.
I would say that would be a fair point.
Okay.
Whether you choose to voice that at this time or
No,
just
I
keep it
won't.
to yourself.
Okay.
And I think that's where we're going to end tonight, with you guys heading your way back to the greatest treasure to make the journey to Scald Seat and maybe the next clue towards Aventhi. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. It was a wonderful time, and thank you to Syrinscape for the beautiful little insects that you're hearing in the background right now, and all of the wonderful sound effects that you heard tonight. It was great, and you should check them out in the description for your game as well. Check out our merch store if you like us. We got really cool beanies and whatnot. Like, comment, subscribe. We got a really cool Discord that we have a lot of fun discussions on. Right now, we're asking for questions for Preston / Victor. I think tonight's a really good night to kind of talk about more questions for Preston about what his character's like. Yeah,
Will those be available to be answered by the time this comes out?
probably. I think by the time this comes out, we will be just about ready to record. Or
So if you have a question,
yeah.
put it in the comments below.
Yep.
See if we can get to it.
Yeah, or a skull and crossbone, or a bunny this time, apparently. For peeps for peace. Or, yeah, peace sign for peeps, if you like peeps. But thank you, everybody, so much. We absolutely love that you joined us tonight. And have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, guys.